let's pick up where we had left off last time, where our humble group of pretty new adventurers have you know, got their stuff started. Uh One Thoraxis and alongside his wife has hired a group of mercenaries of people that are of an interesting bunch that kind of replied to an answers to a job, essentially. Finding some lost equipment. Darcy put himself on it in the cases that, you know, some of the stuff is his, but some of the other stuff was not. And still, it was quite important. And so all of you began your search, wandering towards the warehouses of which they had been previously kept, finding evidence that had not been spotted by some of the other people that had kind of passed through the area. Through some successful kind of investigations and a few throws against a rather low ceiling, you managed to get the information that whatever it was seemed to have been taken out of this warehouse and moved, though not by cart, towards an entrance to what you could only surmise to be a sewer, as there is bits of water kind of coming out of it, though not incredibly dirty or polluted. It does smell a little bit, but you managed to find that there was a strange way to enter the actual door. It's the barred gateway, essentially, which had previously, as you had assumed, usually most of these are barred and nearly impossible to get through unless you were, breaking apart the actual bars themselves. But this one seemed to have folded in on itself when you had twisted the bars in a certain way, allowing access for, well, not just yourselves, but also for whatever large bits of cargo you might be carrying. Convenient. But we'd ended our last session as you had just begun to make your way into this strange sewerscape. As all of you begin to kind of shuffle yourselves into this rather large and kind of wide hallway that's probably, sorry, not hallway, this pipe. It's probably maybe 15, 20 feet at the entrance wide and rather comfortable for most of you to just walk through. There's plenty of room all around, though there is two what appears to be walkways on either side of this pipe, in the center of which there is this murky water that's kind of flowing out from within. Surprisingly, the stink isn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, given that this was most likely a sewer. Though there is a little bit of a residual stench, it smells more like still water and maybe a little bit of rot and mildew than it does the strong stench of sewage that you would have expected.
Yeah, so my prestidigitation is actually working out pretty well.
Uh, it's not
for
just that.
proper smells.
Yeah, it's not just that as either, because you stop using it for a brief moment and it still smells, for the most part, fine. Just a little bit dank. But you begin to kind of slowly make your way through. I require a marching order. There is two pathways, essentially, one on either side of this pipe. You guys can decide if you all want to be on the same side, or if you guys all want to kind of separate. You'd have to jump a gap of maybe about 7-8 feet, which probably wouldn't be too difficult for most of you, to the other side, but it's up to you.
How many, if we were to march side by side, how many people could walk side by side, or is it kind of more
comfortably
a singular person?
It's a little difficult to fit more than one person, especially with someone as large as you. For someone that's much smaller, if they were small size, it would probably be fine to fit two people side by side, but for you, it's not comfortable to fit more than just yourself to walk. So you'd basically have to go single file.
I think Celesta would purposely separate to go on his own, just so he goes first on the other side.
Okay, so on the left side, which is the side you guys are entering from, so on the right side, Celesto's first.
Yep.
You jump across the gap. What's your strength modifier?
Oh shit, it's a 10.
You're
so
fine.
+0.
You're fine.
I think Zane would also follow.
Okay, Zane, what's your strength mod?
My strength is 11.
Yeah, you're also fine then. So we have Celesto and Zane on the other side. Who's on the left?
I mean, I can go up front. I think I mentioned it at the end of last session, right before we ended, but I would have Reggie pull out like a torch since he uses the one-handed weapon, and basically with his weapon hand, I'll just hand him a torch and then like light it for him. That way we have like proper light here, because I don't imagine there's like lanterns scattered about here on the way in.
Oh, absolutely not. It is pitch black inside. Though comfortable for some of you, most of you are having a little bit of issue just seeing through the darkness. Though your eyes are slowly adjusting and your range is kind of getting slightly bigger, it's still incredibly dark inside and difficult to properly see more than maybe 10 feet ahead of you. For Saros, you walk in and you can clearly see maybe the next 100 or so feet just a little bit more shadowed and lacking the color depth that the sunlight typically brings in, but it feels a lot more comfortable for you. Yeah.
I think I'll stay on the side that we were already on. I might be up near the front just because I know that lighting a torch is gonna. No, it's not bright light, or is it?
It is bright light.
Okay. It's like bright light out to like
but
20 feet or something like that,
yeah,
and then
this type
out
of
to the rest.
As it is though, bright light doesn't affect you. It's sunlight, I believe that does.
Yeah. Regardless, I might be near to the front this time, just because I know I can see out further.
Okay, so we have
I'll probably
Saros leading the pack, Saraxis behind, Reggie behind you.
Yeah, probably Reggie in the center, just so we all have like a little bit of light to better see, and then whoever else behind him.
What about Monsieur Eclipse?
I'll be behind Reggie.
And Darcy?
You want me to throw you across to the others?
You don't need to do that.
If you need to, I can go across. I can get it.
It might be a better idea to have the perceptive individual spread out a bit more.
I'll go across.
Okay, so we have Eclipse jumping across, and Darcy taking the tail for the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
You need to know my strength score. It's much better than my last character's at 12.
Then
I've got a 12 this time.
Issues getting across.
I am strong. I have more strength than everyone over on that side. What the fuck?
I don't need strength. I need dex and wisdom.
I have a 14 strength this time.
Wow. Strong boy.
Yeah, I was about to say, Darcy's oddly like... If Darcy's like cloak ever falls off, everyone's expecting like a little like what's the word? Like
he's actually not wearing. He's actually not wearing a cloak. He's just wearing a rather loose-fitting tunic type deal.
He works with wood. It makes sense.
Damn, the moment he takes off his shirt, ooh.
They're like, damn, bro's got veins. If I recall correctly, oh no, Reggie's also human, so he would not have dark sight. And regardless, he has a torch on, so I'm going to turn that on.
Yeah, neither of us can see in the dark, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why he's currently able to see, because he shouldn't be able to.
He's actually like 3 gnomes in a trench coat or something. I don't know.
Oh,
no. A shock to me.
I see what it is. Okay. So no, it's because this current area is actually not considered dark.
Oh, well, that will do it.
I've made. Don't worry about it. Darkness level 1. Global illumination off. There we go.
Hey, Jake, can I turn my gloves to stun setting?
Stun. Okay, yeah.
So don't kill people.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna turn my sword to wet noodle mode.
Oh, that is so strange.
Yeah, it's weird. It has that setting built in.
Yeah. Really is. I'm just wondering why all these characters have fucking... Okay. I think some of the tokens are actually not correctly set. I will give you a moment, sorry. Because they should not have this much vision. Do you have dark vision, Celesta?
No, well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I do. 60 feet.
Ah, right.
I'm jealous.
I'm half cat and then half
Right,
elf,
because you
actually.
took... Right. Because I think you took the Tabaxi half as the starter.
Yep.
And then Eclipse took the human half.
I did it for the feet.
Entirely fair. Oh, no, sorry. This is not the right character to adjust. So Celesta's fine. Eclipse is the one who can't see.
Yes,
Vision.
indeed.
Oh, no, your vision range is correct. It's 10. Sorry. I forgot to, this is like one of the only things I didn't fucking check. Darcy's a half elf. He has dark vision. Sorrows has 120 feet of dark vision.
Whoa.
Crazy. Syraxis should not be able to see. I think it was your sheet that had like 60 feet of vision for some reason. Dragonborns don't get dark vision, right? I'm pretty sure they don't.
No, I think there's like
Only
a
one.
yeah, there's like a type, but it's like a Matt Mercer like setting specific
Yeah,
thing.
okay. I've updated your token. You should now be blind, but it doesn't matter because I'm not putting you guys on the map until something needs to be put on the map. You can swim through it in your mind. Okay. And Zane, I'm pretty sure you don't have dark vision. Oh no, you do. You do. You're half off. Right. Got it. Okay, we are good. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the thing. Because Reggie has dark vision or he shouldn't. Okay, but yeah, as you guys kind of begin to make your way down this kind of stretch of sewer, it is rather dark, dank, and cold. Is anybody attempting to keep track of where they're going? Whether they're following a trail, or if they're just kind of discovering where you're going, or if you're just taking a
Who's
look.
got the cartographer's tools?
Oh, two of us do.
Let's go.
I will do my best to recall the path that we are taking.
Syraxis, you give me a history check.
Oh no.
This
luck.
is one that Darcy can make as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, Darcy's unfortunately gone.
oh.
Yeah, he said he had to step away for a moment.
Okay. I will roll for Darcy. Let's see.
I get distracted as we're like kind of going along. At first, I start like trying to, in my mind, kind of memorize the path that we're taking, and then I just end up like shooting the bull with Saros.
Entirely fair. But as you guys are kind of proceeding onwards, Darcy mumbles out loud, if I remember correctly, a lot of these tunnels are very confusing because the city was built on so much mishmash together that half of them intersect, and it's a maze down here. We should be careful. Yeah. You see Reggie kind of look at him and goes slightly pale. So, Syraxis, we're not going to get lost, right?
I mean, I'm sure we'll be fine for the most part. And you know what? Even if we do, this will be a very valuable learning lesson for us all. And plus, I mean, it's also just the sewers,
What if we get lost and are never found?
I mean, there are multiple ways into the sewers, In theory, I mean, it may take a while. It may take us some additional hours, but I doubt we'll be stuck in here.
Do you think they'd mind if we like defaced the walls a little bit?
Just looking at the walls themselves, you can see there is tons of already defacement. There is random scratches, you don't know from what. There's like paint that's been drawn on to some of it. Most of it is fading. Some of the brickwork has specifically been ripped out. But yeah, what's up?
Can I put my fist against the wall and change my damage type to acid to see if it will burn a fist mark into the wall?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Though it takes a little bit, you kind of concentrate, and the rest of you, what does it look like?
I mean, he kind of like stops for a second, takes a deep breath, and you see almost strangely his entire hands start being covered with this green slime like thing as he just kind of, as opposed to punching, just puts his fist against a wall, and it just kind of, I assume, burns into the wall a little bit.
Yeah. And the rest of you watch as essentially this strange, almost like greenish gray mucus that seems to have appeared on his hand just sink into the actual wall itself. Though it doesn't really splash because he's kind of gentle with it, but the location where he puts his fist, you can see a portion of the brick that he laid it up upon just begin to melt away. Some of the like algae and various dampness that's kind of been going on the surface of it just begins to meld into it, and this almost sizzle begins to be heard all around you, as well as, in addition, what smells like what you can only describe as burning ash. But a mark is decidedly left on the side of the sewer, as well as a portion of it slowly like dripping down off of the actual brick that it was laid upon.
Interesting.
Sir Eclipse, are you by chance like part ooze?
No, I can do this. I've trained a lot. I can do it with quite a few different like. Just look, and he'll kind of put his fist against the wall again, not intending to like burn anything, but change the damage type to. Let me see what else I got. This time, just lightning.
Oh, okay.
Turns out that's metal. We all just take lightning damage. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Zane and Celesto.
Uh-oh.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my god, this guy.
You're a rogue. You're fine. Or well, the rogue failed. Never
You
mind.
are fine. It's not
No.
difficult to get away from, but you
Beautiful.
essentially close your eyes and focus for a moment, and the rest of you watch as this ooze that had been kind of lingering slightly upon his fists disappears, almost vanishes, and kind of evaporates upon itself before very quickly a spark, a light that didn't originate from the torch that Reggie is currently carrying, just begins to appear. This like bright blue shine comes out of his hand, and this spark of electricity hits the wall. And the rest of you watch as it just kind of like sparks along some of the like just water and various different human things all around, and just essentially sends a blinding spark of water just all around for a brief moment. Zane and Celesto, you dodge it easily, but it probably wouldn't have felt really nice to get hit by it.
Got magic fists, just like me. It's awesome.
No, I've got no.
I see. So you're like a monk who is like of 4 elements.
No, more like the way it was explained to me is more like I really don't want to say it this way, but more like dragons.
They're
You
actually just
see
like
Eclipse's
lean
Uh,
forward.
you do see that Autumn is currently kind of like curled around his neck, their heads like just resting on top of Eclipse's while they are looking around at the same time and looking towards you. When he had shifted colors, or sorry, when he had shifted his weapon type, you had seen that the shading on Autumn had kind of like ever so slightly changed. Where previously it had just been mostly orange and yellows, now even with the torchlight, you see like streaks of almost blue, kind of streaking through their skin.
But regardless, I can mark our turns if you want me to.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, that might be most useful.
okay. I was working on this map too.
I mean, we don't have to settle for just the one way of tracking ourselves, but the more the merrier, really. The more avenues there are for success, the more success that can be had, I think. That makes sense, right? Say, like, as I kind of look to the Saros.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Reggie is nodding along. You see him writing it down.
Yes. Thank you, Reginald.
It's really difficult because he's holding his notebook and the torch in one hand while he's got like he's got
I was
like
about to say, he's holding it like against his chest, like
yeah.
the notebook.
He's got a quill on
tilted in the
his
right.
hand.
Yeah.
He had to dip it in like a portable inks thing that he's got. He's always ready. He's ready.
Reggie.
But yeah, as you guys take a little bit of a look and continue to proceed onwards, for now it appears to be just kind of like a straight shoot. Eventually, as maybe about another 5-6 minutes of kind of trekking down this hallway, this long pipe, you see that the pipe actually gets wider and on both sides, not just one side. Both sides expand to the point where you could probably comfortably walk chest to chest with someone else, at least one other person. But it would still be, a little bit uncomfortable to have more than that. The tunnel itself widens itself to the point where it's probably about 30-ish feet across. Maybe a little bit more. Actually, no, sorry, let me do the math. 1, 2, oh, no, it's probably closer to 40 feet across. Where there's maybe a 10-foot kind of ledge for you guys to walk, but it does scale up ever so slightly to the point where you see the water underneath you is no less intense than when you had seen it when it exited the actual sewer system, but now there seems to be slightly more of it, and the murkiness is stronger. It's a darker color, but you're not entirely sure if it's due to the lack of natural moonlight, or if it's just actually darker for whatever reason. As you get further on,
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna ask, like, along our way up here, have we at all at any point seen like any obvious like telltale signs of like I think it was the crates or whatnot that were being dragged along, like any
you could give me
maybe
a
chipped
perception
wood
check
or
while you were walking.
scratches?
Did I also do that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll check from this side.
Yes.
The other side.
Syraxis unfortunately doesn't seem to spot much. Anybody that wants to can also give me a perception check just in case they were looking out specifically for anything.
Beautiful. Well, that's not a high roll.
Oof. That's rough. Well, for most of you, specifically Syraxis, Zane, Eclipse, and Celesto, unfortunately, there isn't much to spot. It just, for the most part, just appears to be some sort of dank sewer that you guys are kind of walking across, and just following the general vibes of. As of this current moment, you haven't spotted any sort of break or branch to the actual sewer itself, but in the far distance, Saros, as you're kind of looking up, you do see that this tunnel seems to have another grate at the end of it. Though before the actual grate itself, there appears to be some sort of bridge that seems to bridge the left side and the right side together, while the left side actually abruptly ends. It essentially comes to a wall that closes it off. But yeah, along the way, unfortunately, there hasn't been much. But Saros, you do actually manage to spot some things as you're walking along. The others managed to, unfortunately, not see. As you had been looking up and all around, especially due to your like enhanced dark vision, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of spot the differences in the shading. And you do spot what appears to be like scrape marks, very similar to the ones that had been seen just outside of the warehouse, except this time it's near the ceiling. Whatever was being carried was scraping against the ceiling. You could see spots where the bare stone is exposed comparatively, where to others there's just this layer of mildew and algae that's typically covering it. But as you guys are progressing a little bit closer and deeper into the sewer, the smell of sewage does get a little worse, though not really nearly as badly as you would expected. As of this current moment, there's still no areas where you can see drainages into the sewer. There are small like holes all along the ceiling where in some places there is things just dripping out, but it doesn't really appear to be like specifically, toilets, because it doesn't smell like it at the very least. But all of you kind of meet up near this stone bridge and stop for a moment just to kind of take a look around. But Saros, you can confirm that along the surface of this stone bridge, as you're looking at it, there was something else that was heavy that was placed down recently, because you actually see a portion of the stone bridge's foundations probably not be as stable as it could be.
So something heavy was placed on the bridge that made it weaker.
Very likely. Or slammed down on top of the bridge that made it weaker.
Mm-hmm. I think as we're walking, if I'm a little bit up ahead, I would I wouldn't want to be too loud, but I just feel like, hey, Reggie, shine your torch up there. Show the scratches on the ceiling and all that.
He kind of tries to extend his arm as much as possible, but unfortunately the torch only has so much range. And it's not a hooded lantern, so he can't point in a specific direction, but he extends his arm out to kind of point out the locations of which you've pointed out, and a few of the rest of you with a high passive perception do also spot the kind of scrape marks that are alongside the ceiling, where there's portions of this algae and kind of mildew that's just missing from the ceiling, where it looks like something has recently scraped it. Yeah.
Wow, great investigation work.
Something's up with the bridge too. Something's been here. Something heavy was dropped, replaced. We should be careful when we go over it.
I can strengthen the bridge and cast Mold Earth.
Sure. It is.
It's
So
stone,
which
right?
one are you picking specifically? I'm guessing it's the third one?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. It takes you a little bit, but the rest of you watch as he basically places his hand on the bridge itself. And what does it look like when you cast it?
I'm just playing with Play-Doh, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Are you using both hands for this, or just your magical hand?
Yeah, both hands. I'm basically like grabbing the dirt and stone like it's clay. I'm placing it right against the stone
Okay.
and like molding it.
The rest of you basically watch as he kind of places his two hands on the actual bridge itself, where, you're not really sure what he's going to do before he just essentially takes pieces of the bridge itself, remolds it, and then just shapes it back into itself, to the point where the bridge is a lot more stable, and it could probably take a lot more weight than it could have even before, at least for now.
Yeah. But it looks very ugly. Like a kid played with it.
Yeah. The top of it is super smooth, but like the underside of it is just so chocked full of like hand marks. That's really about it. But you can climb over it with relatively little issue. But yeah. Those of you on the left, are you hopping across the bridge to the right side?
Which side? Which one was which again?
Celesto, Zane, and Eclipse are on the right. The rest of you are on the left.
Yeah, if it's the way,
Yeah.
only way forward, then yeah, I'll pop over.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of like slowly walking over top the actual bridge itself, it is stable. It seems to be fine. And Celesto, when you had actually done the modifications to the bridge, you had realized that the bridge itself was actually loosened probably on purpose.
What?
Well, it's certainly much more stable than it appears.
Give me an investigation check, Celesto.
Some foul play afoot.
You do spot something glistening in the water. As you kind of lean down, you can see what appears to be an arcane glyph. Just underneath the surface of the water to the side, where if someone had fallen in or the bridge had collapsed, they would have landed basically on top of the glyph.
Guys, look, do you see that? I point to the glyph.
Yeah. After having it pointed out, it is still difficult to see because it's not quite glowing, but just underneath the surface of the water, the rest of you do also spot what appears to be some sort of arcane glyph.
Yeah, probably you can see like some of the light catching on it.
Yeah. These traps are ahead. Should be more cautious.
Yes.
What is
Let
it?
us. It seems like it is some like glyph or rune, perhaps. Something arcane, I'm sure. We'll
Is it one of those that explodes?
possible, I suppose. Perhaps if it's still here on our way out, we can take note of it and show it to the lady.
Oh,
She might know more about such a arcane device. At least more than me.
it's a sketch, but if we have time, I'll try.
I mean, it doesn't have to be 1-to-1, I suppose. But for now, we'll count it lucky that we were able to avoid it. Good eye, Catman, good eye.
Oh, thank you. You know, glyphs are so interesting. Did you know?
No,
In
can we
back
go?
in
We got time. We gotta go.
Celesto, actually, since you were the one who saw it, anybody who saw the glyph can go give me an Arcana check. Actually, you'd
Not
have to
even
be
gonna
able to.
bother.
You'd have to be able to cast magic to do this Arcana check.
Specifically
not
arcane
even gonna be
magic
able to
or
It
bother.
has to
any?
be any type of magic, because being
Well.
familiar with any type of magic puts you into familiar territory with most types of magic. Like, it's different how you source it, but it
All right.
functions similarly.
All right, here's
I'll roll my
here's the
plus
20.
one.
Yeah, here's the.
Let's see.
We're-
It's Araxis.
We're looking at a
Oh,
plus.
huge.
Yep. Oh my god.
That's pretty good.
You actually got it.
He actually got the fucking
Oh,
20. Holy shit.
Nice.
All right, mods, add in the nat 20 roll.
Great.
Zane, unfortunately, it's a little bit too difficult to actually tell what kind of glyph this might be, especially with the water kind of being quite murky and you being unable to see as clearly the glyph itself. So you're not really able to see or kind of identify what type of glyph it might be. But for Saros, Celesto, Eclipse, and Syraxis, as you're glancing forward,
Everybody else.
it does. You know what? I'll roll for Darcy too. He would probably want to roll for this. Let's
Yeah, probably.
Arcana check. Oh,
Nope.
Oh,
Wow.
let's
He
go. I'm not the only
also-
stupid person.
he is also not aware of what it is. But for the rest of you, you do kind of glance forward and do realize that it is some sort of abjuration rune.
Ah, well, of course, that's a abjuration rune. Obviously.
Oh, good eye.
What does that mean?
It's like protection magic, kind of.
Oh.
They honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. The only reason I even recognize that is because it is rather similar to the mark that Redana gave me some time ago.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, yes,
That makes
it's very
sense.
similar.
Okay. All right. Wait. So does it protect the stone from the crumbling?
You know, I don't know. It could do a lot of things. There's a lot of spells out there in the world. I'm sure.
You see Reggie nodding and taking down notes. All right. But you guys proceed onwards, and you see ahead of you what appears to be another grate. Thankfully, it doesn't look like you have to actually go through it, as there is a path to the right that leads forward. However, now at this point, past the grate, you do see that the tunnel splits in two. One leads off to the left, where there is actually no walkway that you can visibly see that allows you to kind of traverse alongside it, while to the right, it does lead along a walkway. But at this current moment, Eclipse, you begin to hear what sounds like the sloshing of water, but not just regular bits of sloshing. This one sounds articulated, it sounds controlled. And also what sounds like the flapping of wings.
Oh,
Specifically,
immediately
coming from the tunnel to the right.
to the right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll immediately kind of like stop and just go. All right. I imagine we're probably going to go to the right anyway, but there is a controlled water noise to the right and like a flapping of wings. So whatever
Wing.
that means.
Huh. Interesting. Well, does it look like is either path like smaller, I guess more narrow than the other?
Yes, the left path is specifically more narrow, especially given that it doesn't quite have a walkway. And because it doesn't have a walkway, it looks like the tunnel kind of narrows there. It gets to maybe about 10, 15 feet wide, but maybe about half of it is just filled with this like brown, murky liquid. It actually, like, surprisingly, still doesn't smell that heavily of sewage.
Gotcha. But it would probably still be a lot more of a pain to bring something large, or at least drag or push something
Oh, absolutely.
through that. So, yeah. Well, given what looks like is up ahead there in the left path, it does seem that the right one might be our best bet, just because I doubt whomever took these items would have gone through that way, just because it would have been more narrowed and claustrophobic.
See.
Good detective work again, Catboy 2. I'm just kidding.
Have a name.
I know, Sir Eclipse. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, shall we then?
You going first, or we trying to take like a quieter approach?
Well, I mean,
I think we should take a thoughtful approach, based off that bridge. Could be other traps.
yes, I suppose so. Is there anyone who fancies himself as being a stealthy individual, or maybe a scout by chance? Because by all means, feel free to lead the path for us.
Given my range of sight in the darkness, I could do it.
I mean, I think I might not be able to see in absolute darkness, but I'm pretty quiet myself.
All right. Let's start with Eclipse. Or you two will do the best of all of us.
Well, that's fine. Reggie and I can stay back. We are a bit more metallic, I say, as I kind of like tap my chest piece.
Yep, he follows suit and taps his chest piece as well.
So we'll stay in the back. Should anything happen, I will charge forward.
Yep, I'm so ready. You see him like have the torch haphazardly tucked into his belt, while he also like draws his battle axe.
Stealth mission with me and Emily.
No,
Man, this could have happened before
I
ever.
will follow the drow as well.
History repeats itself.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, I'll be in the in-between. I still have decent decks. So I'm not going to be hanging back, but I won't be in the front.
Okay.
Alright,
So
so 3 of us.
Staros, Zane, and Eclipse, the 3 of you. I need a stealth check from.
Sure thing,
Uh,
jeez.
Or that can they cast mage armor?
I think Vestel's stealth was much higher than mine now.
Yes,
No
you
way.
can cast Mage Armor beforehand.
Nice. Oof.
Oh boy, I thought you were stealthy.
No, I just can see in the dark. That's it.
Whew.
Zane's pretty good. Eclipse is pretty good. Staros is not as good. But
Can I
yeah,
apply mage armor?
you should have. Did it not?
Like I click the apply active effects button, it doesn't do anything. So I'll just manually do it.
Are you
Well,
wearing any armor
wearing armor.
naturally?
You're
Yeah, I was
wearing
about to
armor. You
say-
can't use Mage Armor if you're wearing armor.
Wait, did I?
You have a studded leather
No,
armor on.
I'm an idiot. Forget that. I forgot.
Okay.
I mean,
Undo
do you still want to cast it?
I forgot. I misremembered how it works. I confused 2 different things.
That's all good.
Yeah, that bad boy you
Uh,
can't stack.
I should state I am leaving Autumn behind, because Autumn is obviously not as stealthy as me.
Yep. Autumn just kind of like crawls off, sits on the ground, and just looks at you the entire way.
I'll make a discussion with him.
You'll make a discussion?
I'm going to talk to her in common, and she's not going to know what I'm saying.
Look at her. She looks so dejected.
She does look a little bit dejected, but actually, give me an animal handling. Soraxis. Or insight, technically. Actually, this would be an insight check.
Yeah, sure. I was about to say, like, I do have Draconic. I don't know if that matters at
Does
all,
not
but
help there. She's not speaking. I mean, she seems more worried than dejected. But yeah. Zane, Eclipse, the 2 of you, 0 sound. Very, very quiet footsteps as the 2 of you slowly kind of advance forward. Saros, not quite as much. The 2 of you can very clearly hear that he's a little bit probably louder than he should be. Though with the 2 of you kind of assisting him, you manage to make sure that his steps aren't, clacking against the stone ground. But as the 3 of you together make your way forward and kind of pass along the side of this corner, you glance forward, and unfortunately, Eclipse, it's pitch black in here. But it does
Yeah, that's
lead
fine.
into what appears to be a slightly larger room, a short tunnel before another bridge that looks very similar to the first one. However, just past this bridge, it seems to be leading into a large circular room. And really, honestly, you can't see much more past the bridge. However, for Zane and Saros, the 2 of you can. Give me a perception check, the 2 of you who can see. And Eclipse, you can make one as well, but you have disadvantage.
That is A-okay. What is it again? Alt or shift?
It should be control for disadvantage.
Control. And then none of the ones I said. Got it.
Yeah.
Only 10.
Okay. Unfortunately, you don't really see much more than that. You can hear still this flapping of wings, and it's just kind of like vaguely coming in from somewhere in this room. There's more than one set. There's multiple sets. And it doesn't sound like bats, because bats are typically quite fast with their flapping, and it's not really time for them to be active quite yet. However, Saros and Zane, the two of you, given that your vision is a little bit better in this darkness, find it a little bit easier to actually see. You do see what appears to be a completely circular room, and currently you guys are standing at the edge of it. Within the circular room, the bottom half of it is just the swirling of water. What appears to be sewage seems to be coming in from the other side of this room, arriving within it, and then it's just a swirling whirlpool in the very center of this room, just kind of like... It's strange because there doesn't seem to be anything powering it, but it's just swirling, and you can see the water get clearer and clearer from the actual sewage that's entering it. Eventually, to be slightly like almost pushed out towards the side which you guys had just come in from. Alongside that, because you've been warned about the flapping, Zane and Saros, you two also look up a little bit and see what appears to be little creatures with these like sharp humanoid type features that are just floating and kind of like flapping their wings all around. It's hard to really determine what they are, but they're really small, maybe less than 2-3 feet in size, and they vaguely resemble like a pterodactyl. These long, sharp features, these short, stubby, almost like succubus-like wings or leathery wings. But there's just a few of them kind of flapping around. Some of them resemble almost like physically they resemble like clean steam, just patches of water that are floating in the air. Their bodies even almost kind of like blending into the vague mist of the room itself, while some of the other ones resemble like some sort of other elemental creature, but this one made of broiling sewage. It's a little bit gross to look at because some of their like skin or proportions almost just seem to boil off at portions of times and just like drips into the surrounding, and it goes into the water where you can see whatever drips into it begins to kind of like clear up, and the water itself begins to get more and more clear. At one point, shortly after you guys kind of round the corner before you really have a chance to talk, you see one of them kind of like almost drop off the side, whether from one thing or another, you're not entirely sure, but they seem to kind of like just fall ever so slightly. One of the cleaner ones that looks like water, more than anything else, they drop into the actual whirlpool, the water itself, before very shortly kind of popping out of the water, trying to almost like fly itself out before something, what appears to be just the water itself, almost lunges upwards, grabs it, and pulls it back under. And you can see the rest of these strange kind of like creatures all fly slightly higher, but they all seem to be strangely chanting. And what languages do the three of you speak?
Which three?
Saros, Zane, and Eclipse.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was gone for like half an hour.
Oh, it's all good.
Do you want us to read out everything we know?
You don't have
Or-
to. Actually, you know what? Do any of you understand Primordial?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay, then never mind. They just seem to be mumbling in this strange, almost like guttural, deep language. It is a language. You could definitely tell that. You could just, but you have no idea what it is they might be saying.
I know a lot of languages. Primordial is not one of them.
So what did I miss?
Progressed along the sewer. It wasn't stinky. You guys found a bridge cross the bridge because it was a little bit rocky, or it was like a little bit rickety. The left side was closed off. Underneath the bridge, an arcane sigil with abjuration as the School of Magic was discovered, seemingly put there on purpose because the bridge was also seemingly loosened on purpose. You have now made it one room past. There is a branching path past a grate, one to the left side, one to the right. And you are currently investigating the path to the right because the path to the left does not actually have a walkway.
Gotcha. So we went with the route where we potentially don't need to walk through sewage or
Yes.
stagnant water, really.
Yes. Yeah. Glancing forward,
And that is
Saros,
seemingly filled with elementals.
seemingly. But yeah, Saros, Eclipse, and this is what you see. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't see shit.
That
So,
is true. Eclipse, you hear the swirling of the water, and you can tell that the pool in the center of this region is moving on its own, but you're not really sure what else is going on.
I kind
Yep.
of motion to Saros to like go back and tell the others what's up ahead.
I'll nod and turn around, head back
Mm-hmm.
stealthily.
And I just like, you know, shove Eclipse back. Just pushing him in the direction we're going.
or
I guess when I meet up with the rest, how far back are they?
Not too far, maybe like 30, 35 feet.
Okay. We'll just whisper, little monsters flying. I've never seen things like this.
Can you
Vaguely
describe
humanoid?
them?
Yeah, vaguely humanoid, small wings. They're kind of just hovering with like steam around them. And there's a whirlpool. Should probably mention that.
They're chanting something.
That too. I would have mentioned that.
Doesn't sound good.
What check would it be to try and recognize them?
Sorry, to try and do what?
To try and recognize the creatures that Saros is describing.
For this, it would be an Arcana check.
Okay.
You have no idea.
All right, is it too late to say I can portent a second nat 20 here? Let's see. No.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Darcy,
there
you
you
try
are.
as you might, you can't really recall what these creatures are. They do sound familiar, though. Syraxis, you got no clue. Celesto and Zane, the two of you do recall kind of bits and pieces of information, and from like both what you've seen and what you've just heard, you can likely tell that there's some sort of elementals, very likely associated with the sewage all around here, but you're not entirely sure what they might be up to. Celesto at the very least. But Zane, for some reason, it just kind of dawns upon you that there shouldn't be two types of mephits, which is exactly what you recognize them as, cooperating here, doing something. Like, they seem to be upholding some sort of ritual, but it doesn't seem to be harmful from the best that you can tell. But you don't know what they might be doing.
There's two different types of mephits. It's strange that they're working together. Never seen that before.
Well, do you think that it might be possible for us to, I don't know, like snuff out the torch and then just walk across?
Well, I don't think they're chanting anything particularly harmful. So it could be worth a shot.
Well, I suppose we can try and walk by in hopes that they mind their own business and they let us go on minding our own.
As you
Okay,
guys
yeah.
are having this discussion, just at a quick glance, give me a perception check,
Love us.
all of you.
That
Ooh.
one.
Oh,
20 followed by a 1.
well, everyone else spots it. Unfortunately, yeah. But Celesto, Darcy, Eclipse, Soraxis, Saurus, the five of you just kind of like having this hushed conversation very quickly pick up on what sounds to be like little bit more frantic flapping of wings as all of you glance backwards towards the direction that you were just like the room is. You see what appears to be a small method, one mostly made of steam, kind of fly by, coming in from the other tunnel that you had seen previously. And it flies completely past all of you, completely ignoring you. Reggie has like frozen still with the torch held in his hand as he also spots it. But, you know, it just flies past, seemingly ignoring all of you before it goes back into the broom. And very quickly, Eclipse, you can hear it begin to start chanting.
Well, I think it might be talking to the other ones. Or chanting again.
Hmm. Wonder if that chanting could be dangerous. You know, if we stop it now, maybe we'll be stopping a future disaster.
Well, what do you want to do?
We should avoid fighting if we can.
Yes, I would rather wait until they take any form of aggressive action before smiting them down, just because, well, we simply don't know.
For all we know, they've been summoned to just clean up this part of the sewer. It's not impossible.
Hmm.
Yes, I think our best bet is just to, make our way across in hopes that they mind their own business and, don't bother us, we don't bother them. And then should anything arise from there or on our way through there, then we can deal with it then.
Jake,
Mm-hmm.
would I know if like this is like a common like occurrence in sewers just from like experience?
Give me a history check.
My God, what the fuck?
Honestly, currently it's a little bit difficult to recall. I mean, you've been in tons of sewers, and probably too many to count at this point. And I mean, it feels familiar, but you just can't place your finger on it. So, what would all of you like to do?
Okay, let's walk forward.
Yes, should we turn the torch off, or you think we'll be
Best
fine?
not to disturb them.
Yeah, so I'll kind of motion for Reggie to put out the torch, and I'll just basically stand behind Tharos and basically hold on to his shoulder and just follow behind
Okay, fair.
in the dark.
Reggie snuffs the torch. Kind of immediately, all of you are plunged into a deep darkness. Syraxis, Reggie, Eclipse, the three of you. It is pitch black, especially since the torch has been lighting the way from the three of you for so long. You literally transition from being able to see stuff into a pitch blackness, and there is no source of light anywhere around. Saros, Celesto, Darcy, Zane, it was fine. Not great, but you could still see, though you are blinking a little bit of the firelight out of your eyes that was originating from the torch. But yeah. Do you guys begin to advance into the room? Are you trying to do so
Real
quietly?
quick.
Or sorry, go ahead.
Real quick. Now, tell me if this is possible.
Mhm.
Autumn can see in the dark. Autumn has dark vision.
Yes.
If they are on my shoulders, can they just be like whispering to me in Draconic,
They could be.
telling me which direction to go?
I mean, I feel like you guys probably would have worked on something like this before, so I don't see
Okay,
why not.
cool. Just wanted to make sure before anything.
Like it would not be as good as actually having a dark vision, because
Yeah,
you'd
exactly.
still be
but it's
stumbling a
the
little
best-
bit, but
It's the best we've got.
yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Um,
We're doing that then.
all right. So now the question is: are you guys attempting to cross this room kind of as quietly as you possibly can, or are you just kind of strolling through, just slowly? But
I'm trying to be quiet.
Probably trying to be quiet.
all right.
I will be as quiet as I can be, but do be aware that my passive stealth is a whopping 5.
All of you, give me a stealth check. This is a group stealth check. So for those
No.
of you who are currently fully blind, specifically Eclipse, because you are getting an assist from Autumn, you're
Beautiful.
actually fine. You just roll at normal. However, I do need a
Beautiful.
disadvantaged stealth roll from Syraxis. Also, Reggie. And yeah.
Oh,
Let's see. Reggie, my boy Reggie.
Andy
It would
rolled
be a,
one.
Disadvantage is control.
yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
think you already
he-
have
he
disadvantage
doesn't-
because you're armor already.
Well, he doesn't have like a skill for some reason on his sheet.
Oh, no,
so I'll
you-
just roll
you
it the
could-
second time.
You could just do dexterity.
Yeah, that's what I
and
rolled
then-
for him.
Yeah, to do one
It
more.
just doesn't give me an option to do like the
You should just be able.
disadvantage because I already
You should
clicked
just
it.
be able to hold control and then click dexterity, and it'll roll a disadvantage for you.
Well, 13.
Oh.
That's not bad. Actually, like even basically blind, Mr. Reggie.
Yeah, so 13 for him, 15 for me, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I-
not bad.
I rolled a double
Not
15. It's kind of wild.
That is not terrible at all. Celestos, unfortunately, is a little terrible, but thankfully, the rest of you's decent average does make up for it. But yeah, as all of you begin to like slowly trek through, with Saros leading the way, you try and be as quiet as possible against these creatures, and it's a little nerve-wracking for those of you who are able to see. And it's probably a lot worse for the ones who can't see. But essentially, you are guided to the edge of this room. You see that there is a bridge that crosses off to the left. Off in the distance, Saros, you can see that there is another exit to this room. But you can also you see that there's actually 2 exits to this room. Sorry, there is one exit to the far back to the room and to the left, and then there's another exit that's directly across where you currently are. Both of them seem to have bits of like sewage coming down, but the path to the left seems just a little bit cleaner. There is a path that goes all around the entirety of the room, so it's like a full sphere, and there is a pathway along the entirety of the room. However, there is no bridge that crosses to the left side. Sorry, there is no bridge on the other side, like directly across from where you guys currently are, but there is a bridge where you're currently standing. Hi, Kitty.
And the bridge takes us how close to the methods?
These creatures, they're basically floating just right above the actual pathway itself. So they're just all around the entirety of the room, basically everywhere. And there's some that are like literally on the pathway that you're going both sides. Just at a quick count, you can maybe see like a dozen in the room.
Okay. I guess which way looks less dangerous to go towards? I guess in terms of methods.
The left way, because it's a shorter path. You would only have to cross underneath or beside 2 of them or 3 of them. While if you go all the way across to the other side, you'd have to cross by more like 5 or 6. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll if I'm leading, I'll turn around and kind of motion to the people who can see me
Mhm.
that I'd like to go to the left and start leading everyone that way.
For those of you who could see, you saw that he indicated he wanted to go left. For those of you who can't see, you just basically get slowly dragged off to the left. Yeah, Eclipse, you're getting like vague instructions. They're pretty clear to you, and
Mhm.
it is in a direction that you're kind of following, but you basically be very careful. The walkway here is very narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys slowly begin to actually fully make your way into the room itself, thankfully, within the first couple, like, seconds, it doesn't look like they either notice you immediately or they have noticed you and just kind of don't seem to care too much. You're not entirely sure. The chanting isn't interrupted at any point, but maybe about 15 or 20 seconds in, as you guys are like a quarter of the way off to the left side, just slowly walking by, you see one of the methods kind of that's in your way turn to all of you, and it says something. Do any of you speak Primordial?
Nope.
No.
No.
It mumbles something in a guttural language that doesn't make any sense to any of you.
And I roll an insight to see if I can tell, like, get a general direction of what its tone.
You could try, but it's going to be really difficult because it's not a
Yeah, I'm aware.
humanoid
Yeah, I
creature.
know. It's not a humanoid creature. It's in a language I don't know.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Nope.
You
No
got
fucking clue.
no fucking clue. It's just said something to you, and it doesn't look happy. Though you don't know if it's got resting bitch face or if like you have no idea.
Did any of us try, or is that just
Anybody who can see
Albert
it can try.
that's rough, bud. Good luck.
Insight?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Zane with the
Oh,
fucking.
Isaac.
He only gets that 20s and that ones. What the fuck is this?
What
Only
is
nothing.
Anybody else want to try?
Nah.
I can't
Okay.
see it.
That's true.
Yeah, I
Darcy,
can't either.
Saros, the two of you kind of glancing towards it, you are completely unable to tell what it's trying to say, what its meaning or anything behind its words is. It's just confusing to you. But Zane, for some reason or other, just with its body language, how it's poised, it very, very much reminds you of like a doorkeeper, of someone who's asking you the password to get through.
I kind of just whisper to the others. I think he's asking for a password, and I don't. We might have to fight if we don't give him the password.
You know what? We definitely don't have a password, nor the language to give it in.
Just- No one here understands it.
Nope.
Not even your dragon.
My dragon can speak one language. Take a guess what that is.
Elvish.
You're right.
That was Reggie, by the way.
No, Reggie, it speaks Draconic.
Could spend I could spend a second level spell slot to cast Detect Thoughts.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to cast it subtly, so I don't set anything off.
Okay. Um. Yeah. And I'm guessing you're just trying to do surface thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not looking into its brain yet.
Just on the very surface, you get. It's strange because it's not really translated, but it does make sense to you. It's like thoughts.
Yeah,
feelings.
the meaning comes
Yeah,
across.
the meaning does come across, but you're like, what the fuck? Because the password that it's asking for, that it's looking for, is the Steel Legion's pumpernickel. However, you don't know how to say that. You don't know if he'll accept it or they'll accept it in common.
How is it said in his brain?
It came across as a weird, like, jumble of 3 different languages, and none of them was the one that he's speaking. You could probably pronounce it, but I would need specifically, for this case, let's say, what's your spellcasting modifier? Or like, sorry, what do you use for your spells?
Charisma?
It's charisma? Okay. Give me a charisma check.
Can I do a performance check?
You know what? Sure. Let's give performance a whirl.
Okay, first off, I need to give a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, sir.
That's not good.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, so this is -2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
16.
Thankfully, the DC wasn't too high because you had read its mind and you had heard it a few times already. You repeat a phrase, one that surprisingly, Zane, you've heard it before. In Thieves' Cant, he says, "The Steel Legion's pumpernickel." And for a brief moment, you're like, "What the fuck?" Because it's an old password that you had known. But the Mephit kind of looks at you, looks at the group, before it just kind of floats away. You can see it distinctively move out of your way before the other one that's also sitting on like the walkway. You see the other one also kind of like look at all of you and float up before continuing its chanting.
Like a thumbs up, like good job.
How did you know that?
Score 2 for mind reading.
That wasn't Thieves' Cant.
Oh,
More importantly, it's something I've heard before.
no offense, but you do seem the type. It's. How come you didn't know it?
Well, I don't speak primordial. I don't know what group we're dealing with here. Can I like recall like where I've heard this before?
Give me a history check.
Oh my god.
You don't know. You know you've
You
heard
are
it
truly
before.
both hands.
You know you 100% have heard it before, but you have no idea when, where, or how.
Perhaps it's just one of the underground crime rings. Hopefully nothing more complicated than that.
Hmm.
All right. But you guys make it through the room without too much of an issue. It's still a little tense because they do still give you sideways glances while they're kind of chanting, but they don't really kind of pay you too much attention afterwards.
They have one job, and they have fulfilled it. It's not their fault that someone else knew the password.
This is true. But yeah. as you guys make it all the way to the left sewer kind of pathway, you can see that there is actually no walkway to either side of this path. Instead, it's just this long kind of curving tube that leads off into the darkness past a curve that you can't really see into. And the water here is actually flowing a little bit quicker than the one that you guys had initially been passing through. The water is not nearly as gross as like regular sewer water would be, but you could definitely see that this is probably nowhere near as clean as the water that you had just walked past. From the best that you can tell, actually, anybody who's able to see at this current moment, give me an intelligence check. The other ones are really being left in the dark.
Maybe turn on the lights.
Oh, it's another 20! This time from Celesto. Yeah, Darcy, Celesto, Zane, the three of you are like, oh, okay. This is probably a filtering room where the actual sewage gets cleaned up, filtered, and put somewhere. How this works, you have no idea. But it probably has something to do with the whirlpool. Maybe it has something to do with the methods, though you're not sure. Celesto, you're 100% sure it has something to do with the methods.
Well, good thing we didn't kill all the methods.
Yeah. You can proceed to the other side of the room where you guys had seen there was another entrance or another exit, or alternatively, you can try and push against the current of this tunnel just to see if you can get further in, or you can go back.
Hmm.
It does look like there is a walkway on the other side of the room.
We can just go to the other side of the room.
No, let's press on.
Right. Kind of passing along this side of the room, you jump across a small gap to the other side, and then you continue onwards, and you can see that the methods are they're generally shoved or moving out of your way. At one point, you essentially see one of the methods like stop chanting for a brief moment. It wipes like its hand across its brow, and in that moment, what appears to be like a large water, almost like pseudopod, shoots out of the water. Give me a dexterity saving throw, all of you.
Oh,
I do.
I'm assuming
20.
that some of us
Oh.
have disadvantage.
Yes, the ones who are blind are disadvantaged.
guys, go turn
No.
on the lights.
Oh, that's still pretty good.
Oh,
Oh, that's not. Can you roll one for Mr. Reginaldus?
Yep. Oh wow.
oh,
He rolled a one.
That's a nat one.
Reggie.
Well, I was hoping no one rolled a 1 because you would have just taken
Oh.
damage if you had failed. But
Reggie.
All right, 2 sessions for the hireling.
oh no, not a hireling.
Does my
My
nat
poor
20 cancel
boy.
it out?
Do you want it to?
Yes.
Okay, then that doesn't count as a nat 20 for you. However, you still succeed. I will ask you to roll again because you are essentially putting yourself in harm's way to try and help him.
Ooh.
Okay, so you do fail, but thankfully, he doesn't get grabbed. You do take damage. Those of
How
you,
much damage are we taking?
it's not much. You'll be fine. The ones
30 damage.
The ones who rolled and got 15 or below, which means 16 was the DC.
Damn
You
it.
take 2d8 or 2d6 damage, specifically 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
So did you say 15 and below?
15 and below, yes.
So I took
Oh.
16.
So the DC
I
was
should
16.
probably.
So everyone.
No, Zane, you don't take 16 damage. You take 8 damage.
Oh,
It's
8.
8 damage for those who failed. For those who succeed, they take nothing.
Sorry, I didn't even ask. Should I have to roll for Autumn?
Oh yes, you will have to roll for Autumn.
All right, cool. Let me do that real quick. Oh, she passed.
Autumn
What
The
the
passed.
dragon is the only one that passed.
Autumn is the only one that passed. Autumn takes 0 damage.
Oh, hell yeah!
Unfortunately, the rest of you do take a little bit of damage. Just a
Damn
tiny
shame that the DC was 16. I was so close.
As this strange water pseudopod just like shoots out of the water and just basically throws all of you against the wall. Thankfully, the Mephit restarts its chanting, and you can see whatever pseudopod that had appeared out of the water just like collapse inward on itself before all of that water is kind of pushed and pulled back into the whirlpool.
I
Real
like
quick,
move. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just real quick question. I
Yeah.
don't know if this means or matters or anything. I do have blind sight up to 10 feet.
Oh,
I have a
actually-
feeling it might have been. Oh?
You wouldn't have had disadvantage then.
Oh, so my first one was a 16.
You
So I
would've
don't take
succeeded.
any.
Well, it was 16 plus 7,
Beautiful.
so yeah, you actually wouldn't have taken
Yeah.
any damage.
Beautiful. Me and my dragon are A-okay.
Hey,
You're the only person
Jake.
that managed to dodge in time. Yes, what's up?
Can I move? I want to move like my reading of surface level thoughts to the Mephit that just stopped and resumed its chanting. I want to know what the hell it's thinking because I'm curious if it knows what the fuck that was.
Yeah. As you kind of switch over, you get just like fleeting thoughts and things. You're like, oh shit. Probably wasn't good. This thing should not be escaping. It hurt some of the guild members. This is not good. I hope that sorry, give me one moment. Just to find the individual that I'm supposed to be looking for. You hear, I hope Darren isn't mad. Or else he might explode me.
Does an image of Darren pop up in its brain?
Surprisingly, yes. An image of Darren does pop up in its brain.
Oh, okay then.
Very, very briefly, you get what it looks to be like a middle-aged, probably either early 30s or late 30s kind of individual, with this dark blue, almost black, but not quite hair, these piercing blue eyes, and this extremely serious expression. And then it disappears when it actually resumes the chant, and you just, within its mind, you basically get surface levels of gotta keep it in check, gotta keep it in check, gotta keep it in check, gotta keep it in check. And you kind of recognize that this chant is essentially something that these creatures are using to keep something in check in the sewer.
Right.
Or specifically the whirlpool. Is that a SpongeBob sound effect? What the fuck was that? But yeah, that's basically what you get.
As we continue moving, Darcy will turn back and I'm surprised you know anyone by the name of Darren.
Do I know Darren?
Give me a history.
Middle-aged, dark, almost blue hair.
You do know a person named Darren.
Oh.
Darren, specifically Darren. Here, let me give you his last name. Specifically Darren Akvata, was an individual that you had worked with before. They had kind of run with your gang for a little bit up in Free Reach, but he was a little bit disillusioned with how kind of carefree it was. How specifically it wasn't for profit or benefit. So they kind of broke off. It was amiable, you're pretty sure, but they did break off. You just don't know where they went afterwards. Seems they might have turned up in Ardalon.
Do I know anything about his abilities
Yes.
or character?
He was known as a summoner. He practiced a lot of magic that conjured creatures. And lo and behold, you remember where that password was used before. A very similar setup was constructed in Freereach, not for the filtering of water, but it was essentially a protection of an area. So these types of creatures, mephits that he had summoned, were placed at the entrance near one of the guild's kind of holds. And it was basically, if they got killed, he would be notified. If he got the right password, he wouldn't be notified.
Hmm.
And the Steel Legions was one of the ones that he had used. He had actually come up with himself.
It's quite the coincidence. I do know someone by the name of Darren.
Okay. What are they like?
They were a bit, I would say, like ambitious. And greedy. Kind of always wanting for more. He used to run with us before he branched off and did his own thing. Because we weren't enough.
I'm sorry, who do you work with?
I
Because I
prefer
don't
not
think
to
that's
say.
been. You've already taken like 5 steps in.
We all have our secrets.
You half opened the lid on yours.
Zane just stares blankly at Darcy.
Oh,
See them blinking through the mask.
Darcy just turns the detect thoughts on, saying, "Well, he knows too much. Got to kill him."
Do you actually turn into Zane? You still have a couple of minutes left on it. Is it an hour? Or 10
Yeah.
minutes?
Hey, sorry. Higher or lower?
Wait, what do you mean?
Higher or lower? Like I'm gonna roll something to determine whether or not Darcy actually does this.
Oh wait, it's
Higher.
1 minute. Never mind, it's gone.
No, it's 10 minutes.
It's
I thought.
Oh, it's the PHP 24. I'm getting fucking confused. Sorry. Okay. Let me
Yeah.
double check just to make sure. But
No, base detect thoughts in 5e is
Oh, is
1
it?
minute. Yep.
Oh, okay.
then it
Never
would be
mind
gone.
then.
Then it would be gone. Yeah.
All right. Not gonna worry about it then.
I was excited.
Interesting. But yeah, no. You guys kind of.
Well, I
continue
mean
onwards.
this was happening like shortly after we were talking about. I read the Mephit's mind, so we got Darren.
Yeah, but it would have worn off right as you finished reading the Mephit's Mind.
Fair.
Because quite a bit of information passed through its head, and you had to kind of had that entire thing where you had to figure out
Yeah.
what the password was.
No worries.
Yeah. You guys make it to the other side of this room without too much of a hassle, kind of passing by these Mephits, and thankfully none of them stopping their chanting. But as you make it all the way across to the other side, you can see that the water coming in from the side isn't quite as turbulent as the other one that you had seen on the left path. Instead, it's rather calm. However, it smells like absolute rancid shit here. the water doesn't seem to be flowing as freely, and you can see just chunks of things in the actual water itself that's slowly passing by into the actual whirlpool itself. Ahead of you, you could see that across this water, you would have to make a 15-foot jump. There is still another, like the right side of the walkway, and at the end of the right side's walkway is what appears to be a door that's currently closed. On the side that you are currently on, there is a little bit of a hallway that kind of stretches on further down, but at the end of it, you can see what appears to be another door. Both of the doors seem to be made of like stone or steel or something sturdy, but yeah. What would you like to do?
So we have the option of doing a 15-foot jump to a walkway or walking through sewage through sewage waste.
No. Just walking forward. Like there's still a walkway that leads to the door in front of you.
Okay.
You'd have to jump across the sewage to get to the other side.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can we turn the torch back on now, or are we still? 'Cause I can't see anything.
We should turn the light back on.
Okay, I'll pull out the torch and just like spit on it and
Yeah.
ignite it again.
Very quickly, the rest of you glance around and can now properly see once more. The Mephits don't really seem to care at all that you lit your torch, but now that you get a little bit of a better look, yeah, those are definitely Mephits, and that is a giant whirlpool of water that is spinning like really quickly. It's quite turbulent, and the walkway that you were on was actually really narrow, and you are thankful that you did not fall in when that thing smacked the shit out of you. But yeah, glancing now back forward, you can see that the path ahead of you is rather clean. It's actually, sorry, no, it's not rather clean. It is rather dirty. There's quite a lot of like grime, mold, and mildew, and probably some clumps of, some shit and piss just littered all over this entire walkway. And you could tell why. There seems to be several tubes that lead off to the side, and you could see and hear things sliding or squidging down them. It is a very unpleasant experience as you have to take a step back as you watch a turd fly out of the tube, land in the pool of water right beside you, and slowly make its way towards the whirlpool. But you have a pathway forward, or alternatively, you could jump to the other side.
I mean, I'll just walk forward. I don't want to jump.
All right. You walk forward. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
No.
You manage to successfully dodge another turd that slides out of its tube. But you make your way all the way up to the end of this walkway, which is maybe another 20-ish feet. Do the rest of you follow Celeste?
Do both these pathways like lead to the same area, or?
No, the one to the right leads to a specific like door on the right side of the pathway, while this left side extends a little bit further, but leads to a separate door.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is two separate doors. And the actual waterway seems to extend further past these doors. There's just no more walkway on either side.
Gotcha. And are these doors along like the same wall where it would be like?
Nope. One is along the left side wall. One is along the right side wall.
Gotcha. Then yeah, I mean I'll follow along the left side here.
Give me a dexterity saving throw. Yeah, you managed to get past without any issues. Though you could definitely hear some things sliding down the tubes. Are the rest of you following suit?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be prepped to just press to digitate anything that comes at me.
Okay, fair enough.
theme.
Sure. Give me a dexterity saving throws just in case. Just to see if anything does come at you. Yeah, nothing. Zane, you managed to duck the first one, and then you just walk past for the rest. Same with Darcy. You get by with no issues. Roll me one for Reginald.
Can I walk forward but
Ooh.
take the dodge action so I have advantage on the dex save?
Yes, you can. But yeah, Reggie's
what
just
is
walking
advantage?
forward. It's alt.
Oh, beautiful.
Reggie walks
Well,
forward.
Thank God for that.
That was a fucking nat one on one of those. Damn.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. Reggie walks forward and he just gets splattered on the side. He's like, "Oh my, oh,
I clean him.
He starts gagging before you snap your fingers, and like almost all of it is gone. He's like, oh, "Thank you. That was oh."
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
As he gets over here, I am going to, since we both got slammed earlier, I'm going to give both myself and Reginald a lay on hands for 5.
Okay, yeah. What does it look like when you use your lay on hands?
So it would basically just be like a bit of a brief flash of light, and kind of just whitish, maybe a bit silver. But he basically just like raises a hand. He'll do it quickly on himself, like kind of healing up the 5, and then as Reginald steps over, I'll just put a hand on his shoulder. And I don't think there's any really, because it was only a little bit of damage, so there's probably not a lot of like blood or injury type thing.
It's just like really heavy bruising, basically.
Yeah, I feel like as I put my hand on him and whatnot, the light kind of glows outward, and it would seem as though the bruising kind of lessens a bit.
Mm. He takes a little bit of a deep breath. Oh, thank you, sir.
Of course.
Let's go. I don't want to be down here any longer. It was fun initially, but now it's like gross. Yeah. As all of you kind of proceed forward, you make it to the actual door itself with no issues, and you can see that the walkway just ends just a little bit past this door. The tunnel itself does continue further up, but it's basically still water that's just more poop than it is water. And it's not flowing very quickly.
Ooh.
What are you guys up to? Do you open the door? Do you walk through? Do you check for traps? Do you turn around?
I'm gonna roll a dex because I didn't do that earlier.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Prestidigitation, please.
Yeah. As soon as you kind of like try and make your way over, you get hit twice, and then immediately, thankfully, the prestidigitation hits, but the feeling still lingers. Yeah, you all make your way to the other side with no issues, because I'm not going to make you roll for like weird fucking diseases and shit. That's boring.
Actually, I'm immune to all of them anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
Okay, alright, fucking paladin kind of. Yeah, but yeah, you arrive in front of what appears to be a like steel-bound door. There is a knocker on it, and there is like a handle, as well as what looks to be like a built-in lock to the actual door itself, and nothing else around.
Okay. Maybe I'll check for traps quickly,
Sure, give me an investigation check.
and then I'll try and unlock the door.
As you give it like a quick once over with the help of the torch, from the best that you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the actual door itself. There's no traps, not too much, but it is locked.
Oh, it looks good to me. I take out my thieves' tool.
Okay. Give me a thieves' tools check with dexterity in an attempt to unlock the door. I think there's 3 people with thieves' tools check. Thieves' tools, isn't there? Or is it just
Yes,
2?
but I have it, but I forgot to buy items,
Bruh.
so I
No
don't have it.
way.
Yeah, I was looking at your
Oh,
inventory
this
and I'm
is-
like, why is this so empty?
I'm a rogue without.
Bro
This
has
is,
he literally has a sword and armor.
My-
That's it.
Nothing else. Bro actually
This
has
is-
nothing else. It's
This
okay.
is
Sully.
literally.
Yeah, there's still I meant to give you guys some items and I actually forgot. But I will probably give it to you once you guys actually get back to your thing as like a quote unquote either reward or just something that you remember you had or something. So you'll get that later. But
This is literally the entire party to him when he's like, "Yeah, I came with just a sword." Bro.
He's actually just standing there with a sword carrying nothing else. He doesn't even have food on him.
Sword, armor, I'm ready to game.
Yeah, I mean, Slay King. But as you kind of test your metal against the actual door itself, Celesto, you managed to bypass it relatively easily. Surprisingly, the lock is honestly really easy to open. It's not like it's a hard set lock. It's a like 2-pin, no security tumblers. It just turns basically the instant you insert the thieves tools kit. Like the lockpick goes in, and you're like, oh wait, it's already open. And as soon as you kind of open the door and pull open the door, you glance inside and you realize, oh, this is just like the bottom of someone's toilet. Probably not
What
just
is it, young lad?
someone's. It is probably a collection of it. There is maybe 3 or 4 dozen tubes inside of this room, all caked and layered in all manner of either dry or wet fecal matter. There's a giant pile in the center of it,
Oh, God.
and it is not pleasant to look at.
What is it, young lad?
Oh, oh boy. Oh, I'm gonna.
Give me a con
As I
save.
see like poop being thrown down like every few seconds.
I'm going to take it as though it is something sewer related, which, in hindsight, I feel like that would have been a bit obvious.
Yep, the rest of you hear Celesto throw up. It's not
Oh wait,
pleasant.
wait, I can do this.
I'm going to move on over to the other side. Now.
Yes, I'll jump across myself.
I'll do
Uh,
arcane deflection. So you basically see
Plus
my
4
left
to your
hand
saving throw.
grab my face and kind of like smack me a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Using a feature to not throw up.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I like. There's like a little bit in your mouth, but then you kind of just swallow it back.
Yep. The rest of you see him like very green in the face. Surprisingly, no puke anywhere, as far as you could tell. But the smell is atrocious. And Celesto, as you just like kind of turn to move away from the room itself, you hear something in the room move. And we're going to take a short break here.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Yes.
Can't close the door
Not
and
a
lock it
shit
again.
elemental.
Well, for all of you, I'm going to activate the map so you can actually kind of see what's going on. I would
Oh,
say
boy.
is if you could see anything on the map, which currently at this moment, because I'm on the viewer, I actually can't see shit. Oh, yes, Reggie has a torch. It should be
Yep,
on.
I went ahead and clicked the thing.
Yep. Feel free to turn around to get yourselves acquainted with where you currently are. If you step off the edge, you will be dunking yourself in poop.
How do I rotate again?
It's control or shift with your mouse wheel. I should be able to see what Mr. Reginaldus sees now. Indeed, he will be my eyes for this game. Beautiful.
He is the viewer.
I mean, it's true. He is the viewer. Let's just hope he doesn't perish. But yeah, short break. We'll be right back. If you go washroom
Alrighty.
or whatever, I'm gonna go use the washroom.
I forgot I made my picture while I'm talking. The cat wanting uppies.
Oh, no.
I'm
yeah, I
looking
see
at
it.
the
That's
stream.
great.
I'm looking at the stream and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
If you have meme requests, please send them my way.
I am satisfied.
Man, no, you missed it, Robert. I portented a nat 20 on an Arcana check for me.
Mm.
And then, after that, Sirius luck has been everywhere. I think Andy willed an existence in that 20, but messed up Surya very badly.
I don't want to fight a poop elemental. I don't know what they're weak to.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the biggest problem, right? I fight with my fists, so
Great.
XD.
I mean, we can't just like close the door and walk away, right?
we absolutely could.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Open it with its opposable thumbs? Yeah, okay.
I like to imagine the Mephit stars walking down this way and just like, where are they going? Why are they going that way? These poor fools.
I was watching a movie this past weekend, and
Mhm.
I can't say what movie it is because the whole time, like the first half of it, I was watching, and I'm like, wow, that's just my D&D character. Like, exactly. But it's very much related to his backstory, so I cannot tell you what movie it is. But it was like,
Ah,
I really, I want to tell someone because
To the
it's-
recent release.
no, not at all. But it's like, wow, I do not have. My story is not original.
I mean, to be fair, most stories nowadays aren't.
after this long.
Just remember that, and then at the end of the campaign, I'll tell you which movie it is.
If you
Or once we
remember.
find out more about your backstory.
Yeah, you can guess.
It's just
Me on my way
Unfortunately, I
next
do not.
session.
Unfortunately, I am not too movie knowledgeable.
I had someone like force me to watch. I think Monday or Tuesday night. I can't recall which one, but this like really bad movie. It's called like The Last Vampire on Earth. It's like so stupid.
That sounds like absolute trash.
It's basically like, from what I understood from what he was telling me, it's basically like one of those movies that some college students made because it was like
Oh
their
no.
final for like a theater class or whatever, and like I guess they officially published it because it is like a legitimate movie. It's on YouTube and you can watch it.
I've looked up the IMDb.
Yeah, I was about to say you can probably find the IMDb.
That main character, he's
Yeah, someone even said it looks like a parody version of like Twilight.
oh wow.
But no, it's not a parody, believe it or not. That is a actual movie.
Oh wow.
And the thing is, honestly, not even like the worst movie I'd seen. Like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty bad. But I've seen some more dog shit abominations
That
recently.
is insane
So,
to hear.
like that movie has something going for it that a lot of modern movies don't have, which is like it at least had a through line. And that's like a dying art nowadays. Like,
What do you mean by through line?
like just from the beginning to the end, there was at least like something there, like a story that was being told.
Oh, okay.
As
Was
in, like,
kind
you
of
know,
consistent.
yeah, like, you know, they at least had a thing they were going for, and they at least, like, by the
Stuck
end
through
of
it.
it was consistent with the beginning,
Okay.
which is, again, kind of a dying art when it comes to movies, because nowadays there's
Mhm.
just so much dog shit out there.
Agreed. All right, but back at it again. Yeah. I need all
Yeah.
of you to roll me initiative.
Oh boy.
Jaraxxus has advantage from last mission.
Oh, yes. Does he?
Yes, it lasts until it's used, and then I get it back on some kind of rest.
Okay. I need to drop Autumn in here. Oh no, you already did.
Oh, I did.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay, let's fight some poop.
Yeah. Currently,
Okay,
Celesto
let me-
and Zane, I think, are the only ones who could see it.
Wow, that was a shit roll.
All right, everybody
I
ready?
think Andy, you have to
it's-
roll advantage.
Oh yeah. You
Oh,
have to
yeah,
roll
because I
yours.
got the one thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me... I tried to roll it yet. It may not let me because I've already rolled it. So I'll just roll a...
Here, I'll re-roll it for you. Remember 7.11. Oh, 16.11. Boom. There you go.
Oh, there you go. That
That's
is
pretty good.
substantially better than the first one I rolled.
Boom. Saros, you are the first to act as you think there's something going on within that actual room itself as you hear something sliding, and it is definitely not Celesto. He is gagging and retching, but he is not capable of moving a giant pile of goop.
Oh, what is that? Can I see that? It's all grayed out.
Yep, that is from your dark vision.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh god, I'm never used to going first. I'm always last.
You could also use shift and control to kind of rotate your character so you can actually see probably more of it if you want to.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, just the one thing in there?
From what you can see so far, something is emerging from the giant pile of dookie in the middle of the room.
Okay. Does this do what I think it does? Fairy Fire? Cast Fairy Fire on it?
Okay, yeah, sure. I think if you click it, it should roll, or it should allow you to roll or place a template, and then you can place it where you want to place it.
Okay, let's see.
Boom. Okay, and it fails.
Cool. You know, for now, I'm just going to. Oops. I'll just move back here so I can see it. I'll just say that's that for now.
You kind of walk forward, you look at Celesto gagging and retching, and you just cast out this spell of fairy fire where this entire area begins to glow ever so slightly, covering this creature as it slowly emerges from this pile of dookie in this like purplish green light that seems to cover the entirety of its body. But yeah.
Now, the
That's
fact
the
that it's an elemental upsets me. Because that means it can enter spaces. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Good luck, Kay.
Zaros, is that the enemy's turn?
Oh yes, yeah.
Reggie, go second.
Well, I'll basically like just step aside and kind of motion for him since he is using the torch and just say, "Go get him, young lad." And so he'll move 5,
Yes, sir.
10. Holy shit! Is that Malphite from League of Legends?
The new Malphite skin.
That's you, Mel.
Oh, that's not even new Malphite skin. That's just base Malphite updated. That's crazy.
He's just covered in
Chroma.
shit.
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Would he be able to squeeze through Celesto or no?
Yes. Through ally spaces, they can move through if the ally allows them through.
Gotcha. And well, I guess first, is there like stuff around this creature?
What do you mean stuff?
Like shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Lots of it too, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? He's gonna try and prove himself. He'll walk up, squeeze
no.
through.
Okay, Slay.
5, 10, and then yeah, that'll be just enough to basically get him here.
This poor young lad.
There we go. And then yeah, he'll make an attack at it since it's glowing. He'd at least see it easily.
Yep.
And it's control for advantage, right?
It is control for disadvantage. Alt for advantage.
Alt for advantage. Gotcha.
We'll get this one day.
Yeah,
We'll
true.
get there. It is a bit of a shift. I understand.
Oh yeah, he has to target the guy.
Yep. It is Alt left click, and that allows you to target them.
Oh, there we go. And then boom. I believe 11 probably does not do it.
An 11. Let me double check its AC. That is that's a miss.
Yep. Well, that'll be it for him then.
Yeah, unfortunately, Reggie kind of runs up to it, pushes past you, Celesto, and he swings his Morning Star. It slams into, unfortunately, a portion of poop that is just sloughing off of it,
Ooh.
and not the actual creature itself. That is the end of Reggie's turn. It goes to Zane.
Okay. How much movement do I get?
Presumably somewhere around 30.
So like to squeeze by and like to get here.
Yep. That shouldn't be an issue. Remember, it is difficult terrain if you're trying to pass through ally spaces, but you can technically just walk past both Reggie and Celesto just behind them.
Okay. So I get here.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 20 feet. Does this count as dimly lit?
Yes, because of the fairy fire.
Great.
Reginald also has a torch on his side.
Oh, so actually it's bright light.
Oh, it's bright light. Okay.
It's because Reggie is holding a torch. Within 20 feet of Reggie, it is bright light.
All right. I will booming blade this guy.
Go for it. Remember, Alt left click to target, and then you can use whatever spell it is that you so wish. It is control for disadvantage, Alt for advantage. As of this current moment, you do not have advantage.
Have to be on this side, right?
Yep. You would have to actually be directly across from Celesto to get advantage.
Isn't it in Fairy Fire?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. You would have advantage regardless because of Fairy Fire.
See.
A 19. That
Oh,
definitely
that was
hits.
disadvantage. That was
Ah.
disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay, and then the damage.
You can roll the damage.
Is it? Oh, right.
You should be able to roll it yourself. Right? Does it come out? I'm pretty sure it should. Yeah, there you go. Damage for 0 on the actual booming blade damage. However, it is infused with energy. Now you have to roll the damage for the actual blade itself, which you should be able to do if you open up the weapon that you used and then you click damage. Nine points of damage. Yeah, solid. As you
Oh my God.
slam into it with your short sword, you could feel that there's like this solid kind of mass underneath it, but you can't tell if it's stone or if it's something else, but it does hit. However, it doesn't seem to take nearly as much damage as you'd expected it to. Though now it seems its entire body is reverberating with this kind of like energy.
I still have my offhand.
You do?
I will take another swing.
Go for it. 25 definitely hits. Roll me damage. All right. Solid. Yeah. Once again, you strike against it. Should it be... Do you have 2 short swords?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have dual fighting?
No, I do not. It's without the modifier.
Then your second one shouldn't have the 5 on it. It should be 4 reduced to 2. Okay, I gotta give it some HP back. Plus 2. Boom,
You have
there
sneak attack, don't you?
Right. Yes, I have sneak attack.
That would be good to use. You have both advantage and 2 allies beside your target. Okay, yeah, that definitely hits, and it is still half damage. So boom, 5. Solid.
Yeah, that's my turn.
And that is the end of your turn. Sir Axis. You hear this commotion going on, and what you can only surmise is a toilet.
Oh, I'll just kind of take a few steps forward, just kind of look in.
It is indeed a
I'm like-
toilet, but good lord, there is a little bit more inside.
Huh. Let's see, 5, 2. Well, let's see. Yeah, no, I'll just kind of look at Tharos and just be like, you going in there?
If I can avoid it? Nope.
All right, that's fine. I'll do it. Oh. And then I'll move my way in as well to get here. That way I'm looking at it. And it is still glowing, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Exquisite. Alright, yep, I'm going to go ahead and swing me great sword at it. And I'm gonna make it a great weapon master since I have advantage.
Go for it.
+2 attack incoming. 17.
17 does hit. Roll me
Oh
damage.
yeah. Uh, 20.
That definitely connects. I believe the 20
Damn.
is all normal damage, right?
It's silvered, so it's not a magic weapon if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, unfortunately not. It does half damage. Oh. Yeah.
Don't forget
Nice.
to be adding the damage, Andrew.
Oh, yes, let me do that.
As you
I will not have my damage number squandered.
Yeah, as you
Okay, real quick.
slash
So all of this
into
has
it.
been halved so far, right?
Yes,
Okay.
including the sneak attack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as you slash into it, the first hit strikes solid. Though, unfortunately, it doesn't make nearly as much of an impact as you were hoping it does, because you swing downwards and typically you cleave things open. This guy, he's tough.
Wait, Jake, don't you mean he hits liquid?
No.
Not solid?
Underneath the top layer of liquids and disgusting semi-sludge, there is something solid underneath.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I have anything as a bonus action.
It's that-
So
No, that's a terrible joke.
that ability is listed wrong. But yeah, no, I don't have anything, so that'll be it for I.
That is the end of your turn. It goes to its turn. And it will take a moment to appreciate the new company that it's got and take its sweet, sweet attacks at two separate things. Specifically, the two people that actually hit it and did some reasonable damage to it. That is
Sure.
Syraxis.
Oh.
First, for the first slam attack.
Sure.
Boom.
That'll miss.
14. That misses. As it swings upwards, you just manage to dodge underneath it, bringing your weapon just kind of to par and just parrying the shit out of it for that moment before it turns around and its second swing goes for Zane. Kaboom.
Miss.
Which misses entirely as you just easily duck underneath it as it's the slow refuse monster. Though it is slow, it is still kind of not great as it is splashing shit everywhere.
Oh.
And specifically because that is the end of its turn of splashing shit everywhere, it is now your turn, Celesto. However, because you started your turn within 5 feet of it, Celesto, I will need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Alright, another one.
oof.
That is a success.
Okay.
Thankfully, you recover enough that you are not going to be throwing up, retching, or puking all over it this turn. You will have to remake this if you start your turn within 5 feet of it again next turn.
Okay. I'm gonna punch it. I don't want to touch it, but it's okay.
Okay, go for it. You still have advantage because it is still under fairy fire. 25 definitely hits. Roll me damage. There should be a damage button right underneath it, right?
Is there?
There should be in the chat box thing.
Was full damage? Wait. Oh, it's here. Oops.
Yeah, there's a thing that says roll damage. Ah, there you go. And I'm going to confirm that. Because this is, if I remember correctly, thunder damage.
This is thunder damage.
It is thunder damage. It is actually vulnerable to it. As you actually strike it in the chest, in that brief moment, you hear and feel this entire reverberation go off within its entire soft and somehow differently hard body as this eruption of thunder goes throughout its entire body. And not unfortunately, a lot of the refuse that is covering it goes everywhere. Fortunately, it is now a lot easier to see, especially on top of the fairy fire. And it looks and resembles to be some sort of rock or a kind of stone creature, but composed of hardened pieces of someone's poop.
Ooh.
It is disgusting to look at, and it is leaking. Is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna hit one more time.
Go for it. 18 also hits. Roll me damage. Boom, for another 8 damage. And yeah, once again, it shakes violently from the impact.
I'm gonna move away then.
Okay, it's going to roll an attack of opportunity against you.
And no, I have mobile.
You have mobile, therefore it tries and fails miserably.
I'm gonna catch my breath back here. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
It is stonky in there. Darcy.
So real quick, that 8 doubled to 16, yeah?
Yes.
Or is it just the dice? Okay,
The 8 doubled to 16 and the 4 doubled to
just
8.
making sure. 24.
Oh.
I don't think I want to go over there. Do you think they have it handled?
Yeah, maybe. I'm still gonna go over there.
He just needs lots of catching his breath.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the end of my turn.
I'm just gonna hold an action to Ray of Frost anything that comes out of there.
Okay.
That is not one of that is not one of my companions.
Entirely fair. Is that the end of your turn?
I don't think it'll help if I walk over there at all.
Eclipse.
Yep, I am going to run on over. This is 30 right there.
Yep. As you run over, you glance into the room and you are just hit with the smell that you're like, oh. It's
Yep.
not pleasant.
I leave Autumn behind. I don't want her involved in this. I'm going to move
Entirely
up
fair.
one for 35. Let me rotate myself.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go ahead and smack it once with my fist. We're going to try out cold damage and see how that works.
Okay.
Alt is advantage, yes?
Sir.
All right. Bam. Alt.
14 unfortunately
14.
misses.
Okay, cool. I will use my bonus action to smack it again.
Go for it.
And hope I hit this time.
That
A
does hit.
24. Damage. Normal. For 9 points of cold damage.
All right, 9 points of cold damage goes through, and it does actually take effect just as effectively as you would affect it to Billy. You would believe it to be affected by it, which is
Beautiful.
great. But yeah, as you
And-
run in, you slam your fist, which is just kind of covered in this layer of ice, thankfully. But as soon as you
Yes.
pull back, you realize, oh, the surface of the layer of ice is coated in something.
Yep. I am then going to use the rest of my 15 feet of movement to, hey, guess what? Back away.
You have
Whoa,
mobile, don't
someone
you?
just copied me. Who copied me?
Motherfucker, I moved the character first!
Yeah. With mobile, you manage to get away even though it tries to swing at you. Is that
I
the end of your turn?
literally made the character first, Kay. I don't want to hear none of your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be all of my turn, Autumn, and everything.
Boom. Saros, it is your turn. Since you are not starting within 5 feet of it, you do not need to make a con save. But
Awesome. I'm going to try to damage it in a way that doesn't spread shit everywhere. So I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead on it.
okay, go for it. I believe that is a saving throw on its part, right?
Yes, it's
Roll me the damage.
wisdom. Sorry.
Roll me the damage.
Oh.
It should come out as a
The-
part of the Toll Dead. Yeah.
Unlucky.
Well, you know,
Oof.
I think I still have to roll a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a 10. That fails, which means it does take 1 point of emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
You're welcome, guys.
It does definitely
Sorry,
hurt
out
it,
there pulling.
though you
pulling
don't
weight.
know how much it actually hurt it. Yeah, that's your action.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it there and keep reading my stuff.
All right, entirely fair. That is the end of your turn. Reggie must make me a Constitution saving throw.
Con save.
He
11.
fails and instead must spend his
Uh-oh.
turn retching and doing his best to not throw up.
Well,
That is unfortunately his turn. Zane,
All right.
I need you to give you a Constitution saving throw. You succeed, and you manage to fight back the potential throw-ups that you were about to have, because you seeing Reggie throw up almost triggered you to throw up.
It's the quick prestidigitation on my face.
That is an action.
Oh no.
I know what you're trying to do, but it is an action. It's an action you could take. I'm just making sure you know.
I think I'll proceed to smack this giant turd.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Go for it.
Hey. I guess another booming blade.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have advantage, right?
Yes, the fairy fire is still very much active. 22 hits,
I gotta roll the damage.
which should be 0 unless it moves. Or yeah, short sword damage.
Yeah, this takes normal short sword damage until it moves.
Yes, which is halved.
The sneak attack.
Only the damage, and it should also be halved.
And then my offhand.
Mm-hmm. Which hits?
And damage.
And
Minus-
should be 5. That's pretty good.
Well, it's remember that's.
Oh no,
not
we're all
bad.
bloodied.
Wait,
Oh my
5
goodness,
reduced to
Reginald.
2.
Why did it apply bloody to Reginald and Soraxis? What?
We're dying.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't. Huh? Okay. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
Didn't
That
you
was-
know
I'm
we're
at-
all linked? If you
I'm at
stand within
70
5 feet of the elemental, you'll link to it.
I'm at 71 hit points and I'm bloodied. This fight's over.
But yeah, from the best that you could tell, your sword attacks did actually make effect, though it's not as effective as you were hoping it was. Especially against humanoid targets, it's a lot easier. But this creature does resist your hits, but it is still taking them, and it is still suffering quite a bit of damage as you just slash, and then try and stab at it again before. Yeah.
I'm just gonna move.
All right. Yeah. You flank around to its behind.
That's my turn.
All right. Syraxis.
I would well obviously have to do a con save, I think.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
You unfortunately fail and can do nothing this turn except for retch, throw up, and suffer. But that is the end of your turn. It goes to the refuse monster who just got a bunch of shit kicked into it. It's gonna unleash its rage upon Zane.
It has disadvantage on hitting things other than me.
Oh, does it?
My ability. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't know that. So it will regardless try anyways. 2 hits against Zane. That is
At advantage.
Oops, I rolled at advantage. It should have been disadvantage. There you go. Disadvantage.
That does not hit.
16. And then what was the first one's? What was the other damage that I rolled? Oh, it's already gone. 24? No.
Yeah,
that's
we
Zane's.
couldn't see it.
It's fine. We're going to roll it again. Boom. Another 13. It misses.
Nope.
Both attacks miss. Yeah, as try as it might, it unfortunately does not make contact. Either of the
I am
hits.
the tank now.
And it will dive into the poo-poo,
This is the booming blade kicking.
which it does. Only the damage for that.
Oh shit, what is
Ooh,
it?
I think it's a D8.
D8.
Oh.
D6? No,
D8.
D8.
What's
And it's
thunder
thunder
damage?
And it's thunder.
So roll me the damage. You can just roll a D8.
Oh,
Changes it to 2. As it dives into the dookie, you could see like an explosion go off on its entirety of its body as energy that you had stored up within it now is unleashed.
Do we get an opportunity of attack?
You do get an attack of opportunity for just you, and actually it's just you because Reggie and Syraxis are unfortunately a little bit preoccupied with.
But the
So-
a reaction too.
You know what? Sure, I'll let you have your reaction.
So I have Warcaster, so I can cast Booming Blade. Does that effect apply again?
Yeah.
Sick.
Damn. Okay. 26 definitely hits.
And then I also get sneak attack.
No. Sneak attack is once per turn, and you already got sneak attack from your
I
early.
heard it can work
No,
on the.
sneak attack is once per round, technically.
Or,
It
sorry,
works on attack opportunity.
Oh.
Or once per turn, I mean. So it's it works on every attack that you would make as long as it's outside of your turn.
Sure, why not? Reggie hits. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna apply the half damage from the sneak attack.
Oh, big damage.
The full damage from the booming blade. Did you roll the damage for your booming blade?
Yeah, the 1d8.
8 minus goes into 16. Did you roll your damage for your short sword?
No. Let me roll that.
The 10 unfortunately does miss. But
On the
Reggie
sneak
makes-
attack?
No. I'm talking about Syrax's 10.
Oh, right.
The-
Yeah, I
the
rolled a
10
10.
was attack, unfortunately. But yeah.
Did it put the damage for me?
Yeah, your sneak attack misses.
No, did the sword damage go in?
No, I don't have
Damage.
the sword damage. I only have your booming blade damage.
Some clicking damage. It's not doing anything.
Do
Let's
you have him targeted?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Then you could just roll the damage.
What is 1d6 plus 5?
Yo, 20 dex.
Is that plus 1? Just add the plus 4 to that.
Sure. 20 total or 10 total minus 5. So another 5 damage. Nice. Yeah. The rest of you watch as it plunges into the ground. It sinks beneath it. And in that brief moment, you're like, oh, shit. You take an attack at it, and it disappears for a little bit. I need Celesto, Saros, and Eclipse to give me
Question.
Oh, sorry, what's up?
How does that work with fairy fire?
That's a good question. Its body is still coated with fairy fire. However, because it has the ability to earth glide and move the refuse, it would probably fade because it would be pushing that material off of its body.
Okay.
I can't remember. For fairy fire, did he need to make a save at the end of his turn?
Nope, it's just
It's
it's
just for the
there until
duration.
you lose concentration.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Regardless, unfortunately, the effect of the fairy fire on him would fade, but the spell would still be there within the room, lighting it up. However, I would still need Eclipse, Saros, and Celesto to give me a dexterity saving throw. Actually, no, sorry, this would be a strength saving throw.
Oh, why did you have to say
Word.
that?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I much
man.
rather would have had it been dead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
Oh boy.
That's a 2. That's a 14. And that's an 18. 18 succeeds. 14 and 2 do not. Because
I
it
got a nat
pops up
1.
right here. Which means Darcy's thing does go off. I think you can see
Yay,
it.
Ray of Frost.
Can you
yeah.
see it? I think you see it.
I can see it.
Yeah. Roll me the attack.
What?
Oh, right. Need to target someone first.
Okay, do I get to move away? Where am I?
You succeeded,
Okay.
so you move into the nearest unoccupied space. So because
Okay.
you succeeded, you would
There you
move to
go.
here.
Okay.
However, Saros and Eclipse both get shoved off of the actual
Oh, ew.
platform.
They're
Great.
covered fully.
And additionally, both of you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Beautiful. Trying to make sure there's nothing I could have done to.
The Ray of Frost does apply.
To not
it's
have
5
this
points of
happen.
damage.
Damn. I'm assuming the 10 points of damage is just because it exploded out.
Yes.
Okay.
You managed to keep concentration on Fairy Fire if you wanted to keep it, but
I guess I'll. What is it? My turn next though.
no, it's still the Earth
Wait.
Elements.
Well-
Sorry, the Refuse Elemental's turn. It's not quite done
Sure.
yet.
Yeah, I'll give it for now.
But as Saros and Eclipse, you two are now on your backs and sinking into effectively puddles of.
Oh, right, it's fairy fired. I would have had advantage.
No, it's not fairy fired anymore.
Oh, it's not?
Yep. It basically, because it crawled through the ground, all of like it
Oh,
peeled
I
off
gotcha.
all
Okay.
of its own skin, and then like regathered other skin and stuff, or
Okay, I
the
gotcha.
key onto it. Yeah. But that is the end of its turn. Celesto, since you are beginning your turn within 5 feet of it, give me a Constitution. You do succeed.
Okay.
So you're okay.
I'm gonna give it a 1-2. I'm gonna run away.
Go for it. 22 hits. Spicy. Boom. Your first hit shatters into it, and you can see this energy just crackle in the entirety of it. Its entire body just takes hold. It is crazy how much damage you just did to it. And you can see cracks beginning to like really hard form all around its entire body. And what appears to be like a light glow, like a light blue glowing crystal, can be seen in the center of its body now through the various different cracks. And 17 hits again. That is not enough to finish it. As you slam your gauntlets into it again, this time, unfortunately, you hit a patch that's just slightly more protective, and
you would no.
it
Never
doesn't
mind.
hit as close to home as it should have. But you take that moment of its being in distress and kind of, beginning to decompose to run away. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Yeah, you managed to pop behind Darcy. As Darcy, it's now your turn.
Oh, and I smell horrible.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Everyone here, except for Darcy and Autumn, also do.
Yeah, Darcy has already like put like a rag over his mouth and nose. Right, so this is horrible. And let's see. I'm going to hit this fella with a chill touch.
Go for it.
You gonna touch him?
No.
A 22 does hit. That is enough damage. How do you want to do this?
As Celesto walks past Darcy, Darcy just okay. Well, don't know what I'm going to be able to do with all this, but as he's just unbuttoning the sleeve on his shirt a little bit, and he just raises a hand out towards it, as these spectral threads just reach out in the guise of a hand and just latch around and more or less like wrap around its body, constricting it as it just starts falling apart.
Yeah. The rest of you watch his entire body basically fade away until this singular core is left ever so slightly floating in the air. This like light blue that's glowing before it begins to crack and break underneath the pressure of this hand that's kind of holding it ever so slightly. Before the entire creature kind of dissipates into just a stinking pile of dookie. It is not pleasant to look at or smell at, because as of currently this moment, Saros and Eclipse are currently neck deep, and I need both of you to give me a strength saving throw to see if you can stay above.
Beautiful. Strength save. Lovely.
Not for Syraxis, you're
Oh,
fine.
let's go.
Oh, I thought you said Syraxis or something.
No, I said Saros.
It's already happening.
Even he's getting confused. It's not just me. But yeah, Eclipse, you managed to just kind of like push off and just fight off this feeling of literally reaching your hand into,
Oh.
to push yourself off. But Saros, it's so difficult to even get a grip, and your head just kind of dips under and give you a con save.
Before that happens, can I cast something?
Yeah, you can.
Can I cast levitate on myself?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, there you go.
Right before your head goes under, and you can feel it crawling up your like the sides of your neck. You're like, nope, not doing this. You basically snap your fingers. You recite a phrase, and the rest of you watch Saros just kind of float out of the poop.
Darcy's just going to look at both of them and just start prestidigitating as they're climbing out.
Yeah,
I mean, am I climbing out or am I just staying above?
At this point, because you rolled decently and you actually are not in combat anymore, you are climbing out. So you do manage to get out
Beautiful.
without too much of an issue.
Thank God.
It's not pleasant. Let's just go with that.
I
No.
can't do much about the smell that's sticking to you, but there's not going to be anything physical sticking to you.
You know what? I'll take it over being covered head to toe.
Yeah, Reggie and I will walk out, and
Indeed.
I'll just be like, "Sir Darcy, do you mind?"
Yep, everyone line up.
Good sir, I beseech you.
Yes, come on over.
Yep. For the majority of you, there's no real lingering spell for Eclipse and Saros. Unfortunately, there is. It's
Autumn
not,
stays far away.
yeah, it is. It's not pleasant. Not pleasant in the least. But
Once we're each like kind of cleaned off, I'll walk over to Saros and just put a hand on his shoulder and heal him for 10 with another 10 more land hands.
What was the first one you used for yourself and
It was
Reggie,
10
by the way?
total, so it would have been 20.
Okay.
Because I did
Cool, thank
5
you.
for me, 5 for him, so.
Thank
Because that's
you.
basically all I have, so.
Gotcha.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
he quickly walks away, plugging his nose.
Understandable.
I'm just gonna
Um,
clean myself with the
Well,
prestidigitation.
I believe we should have probably went through the other door, all things considered.
That's
but
most likely the case, yes.
well, I suppose we should double back and make our way around.
Why did we actually fight this thing again? Why didn't we just close the door and walk away?
Well, to be fair, I don't think that would have worked, considering that it seemed to phase through the earth and come in, so it was likely that it was going to follow us out here anyways.
Well,
Yeah.
that was an amazing adventure.
I do have some bad news, though. I'm pretty sure that Darren is probably now aware of her existence,
Well, we should
assuming
hurry
that's his summoned creature.
hurry up and go back to that other door then.
all right.
Yes, with
Agreed.
haste.
All right.
Feel free. You guys have the map to explore now, because I'm actually putting you guys on there now.
Jesus.
I still remember I had to jump.
Yep.
I can throw you.
I can molder to make a small little bridge.
I'll be at the end.
Considering those are the kinds of creatures that this Darren summons, I doubt we'll be able to solve any of this amicably.
Well, remember the rules.
No
should we
killing.
have to fight them? Yes. No killing.
Not to worry, I'm aware of that. I have no desire to kill anyone.
Well, do we want me to go check the door first then?
We gotta.
By all means, you're the one that requires the least amount of effort to get across.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a step back and just like run and jump across.
This is a 20-foot gap. So
Yeah,
I will
I can
need a
jump 20 feet.
athletics check.
I thought you said it was 15 earlier.
Yeah, I miscalculated. That's my bad.
I mean,
mismeasured
20
on
feet.
my
I can still jump. That's in my jump range.
I think you need a running start, right?
Yeah. I assume this is where we're jumping, right?
Yes. Oh, actually, no. I think
Yeah,
you'd be able to make it.
I mean, even if not, I can walk up here and like run around.
yeah,
like,
you have a
run
strength
down
score.
that
You have
way.
a strength score of 20, right?
Yeah, so I can jump 20
You're
feet
fine.
with a longer jump. Yeah,
Perfect.
so I'll just like, I'll basically back up a few feet this way and then just run and leap across
Mhm.
as I just
Alright.
turn around and I'm like, And then,
I wasn't worried about resources. I'd join you.
Yep. Glancing around, you do see that there are the Mephits are still very much in the middle of their ritual or whatever it is that they were. They are a few of them do look your way, but don't really seem to care much more than they had before.
is anyone needing to, or is anyone wanting to come across, or are we going to just let me open the door here?
Yep, I'm coming. Reggie backs up a little bit.
I'll kind of like ready myself to like help him across if he barely makes it, or
He
like
jumps.
barely misses rather.
Give me an athletics check for Reggie.
Athletics check.
The DC is 12.
I don't know if he has proficiency because for whatever reason I can't see the
He
skills.
doesn't. Well, if he doesn't
Okay.
have proficiency... Oh, no, he does. You have to go to abilities. It's under abilities on the 4th tab.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, see, he does have a proficiency in athletics.
Yes, I see. Well,
Ooh, Reggie. Oh, my boy. The rest of you watch as he kind of
it's like not even close enough for me to like possibly catch
Oh,
him. He just
no.
kind of like lands midway
Absolutely
through. And
not.
I'm just like,
Not
Nope.
even. Because the rest of you watch as he like takes 2 steps backwards. It's like, okay, I got this. He runs to the edge, begins his jump, and like his shoe gets caught on the edge of the ledge.
Oh,
And the rest of you watch as he just essentially pivots straight face down into the poo.
Oh,
As he lands face first.
I'll pick him up.
Yeah,
I'll grab him.
I'll press the digitation in his face.
You can see like tears streaming down his face as he's just sitting off to the edge after you guys picked him up, and he's been prestidigitation, but like his entire mouth is like wide gaping open, and he's just like dumping like a canteen into his mouth.
yeah. I'm just sitting here like, this kind of reminds me of some of my training back in the day. But honestly, I'm starting to think that this might honestly be worse because we're just in
Darcy
mud
is trying his best not to throw up right now.
All right, so you all stay over there. Like,
you're all
Go
good
check
over
the
there by
door. Go
yourself?
check the door.
okay, I'll check the door. I'll just kind of walk down. I'll since he has the torch, I'll I'll reach down and grab my hooded lantern
Mm-hmm.
that's on my belt and it's like kind of activated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it might actually be a bit of a larger area.
I believe it's
Around, but-
for a hooded lantern. It's 3060, so yes, it should be slightly larger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll
for
kinda
now,
walk
I don't
up.
think it matters.
Does the door look locked or anything?
It does look quite sturdy, very similar to the other door that you had seen already. Although this one seems to be a little bit more, like the actual lock itself looks a bit more sturdy. Though aside from that, it's hard to tell.
All right, well, I mean, I'll try and open it nonetheless.
Yeah, you try and open it, it is locked.
Yes. The door is locked.
I see. I believe I might have some issues getting across.
Do I
Maybe
need to
some
jump over there and throw you?
Maybe if you lend your long... What was it? Halberd?
You don't want to grab the end of this. I'll kind of look over to Red. I see Reggie still struggling. I say, Sir Darcy, do you mind to grab that giant polearm weapon off of Reginald's back?
Right.
And then
Darcy-
toss it over here.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Yeah, Darcy, what's your strength?
14?
It's not too much of an issue, especially if Soraxis is ready to catch it. But just give me an athletics check, just in case.
Well, how heavy is the weapon?
Actually, let me look. It'll be big. It'll be heavier
like
because
pounds.
that's. Well, yeah, I think a normal. Let me
hand.
check. Well, that's the issue. Let me check because I manually went and it's 18 pounds because it's twice
Jeez.
as large as a normal pike.
Yes, which
Never
is
mind
a
then.
normal one is 9 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, normal one's 9, so I doubled the weight of my weapons because they were fit to my size.
Yep.
So yeah, like you probably
up,
pick it up and it's like
that thing is
just-
fucking heavy. Like you could probably swing it around, but it's a little bit of a struggle. You are out of breath within like 30 seconds. Darcy specifically, not Syraxis. I mean, you could try and throw it.
I decide I'll just take a few steps back and I'll just literally leap over next to him, grab it, and then leap back, like take a few steps around and then take
Yeah.
another leap over.
With relatively little issue. But give me a dexterity saving throw just in case, because the ground is a little bit slippery.
A save or a check?
A save.
It doesn't really matter. It's the same. I don't know why I asked.
12? Yeah, that's enough. The DC was 10, so you're fine.
All right.
You do
Yeah, and
slip
then
a little
I'll-
bit as you kind of like get to the other side, but you're like, oh, I'm fine.
And then as I kind of walk over, I'll basically hold the like weapon in out towards wherever Zane's gonna be
Mhm.
jumping from.
All right. Zane, do you want to attempt to jump across?
I can't use acrobatics, can I?
Nope.
Route is it towards us now?
Sorry?
The pole arm.
Yep,
Is
it's
he-
5 feet closer. So if you have a strength score of 15 or higher, it wouldn't be very
Nope.
difficult.
Okay.
But if you have 14 or lower, it is a little difficult still.
You know
Is it-
what happens? You want to know what happens?
Mhm.
Autumn hops over real quick.
Yeah,
Got a
Autumn just
strength
like
score of 16. Autumn just kind of like, oh, I got both of us.
Oh, hello there, little creature. Oh, I kind of like catch it and set it down.
Autumn
Autumn-
just casually hops over.
it can't
With the help
quite
of the
fly,
boy.
but it,
No,
it
not
can,
yet.
like glide a little bit. So it has absolutely zero issues getting over.
Anything to get away from the stinky people.
Mm-hmm. So, who's trying next?
Can I do something creative? Can I use a thorn whip to kind of grapple onto his polearm and have him
Sure.
like pull me like a fishing rod?
You're trying to pull it towards you so you get pulled towards it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that. Give me a spellcasting modifier check. So whatever you use as your spellcasting mod, which I believe is intelligence.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Well, you certainly do try. The DC wasn't very high because it would have made it easier, but unfortunately, whether it was just a slight miscalculation or you just didn't quite jump as hard as you thought you did, you slip and you land like waist deep.
Ah!
But you
I
do
was
make
about to
it
say.
to like here. Or
I was
sorry,
about
you
to
do
say
make it
it
to
probably-
Pull me up.
Yeah,
Pull me
I'll like seeing that. I'll hold it out and like pull him up. But I was about to say, Jake, even if he cast that, I would have like, well, here it probably wouldn't have helped because of this. I don't know if you've seen this on my sheet, but here you go.
which thing?
I would have pulled
Oh.
it back as he.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that
as
would've-
he lands,
yeah.
I'll pull him back up.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not really sure why Celesto, why it didn't work, but it, like, you're pretty sure that Pole might have moved. Like, Syraxis seems to have moved his polearm a little bit, but you're not, I mean, like, it's hard to tell.
No, I'm not gonna doubt him like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I just missed.
But yeah, you missed the mark ever so slightly, but you managed to get to the other side. You are pulled up and your pants are soaked through, but
Stand over there, like 10 or 15 feet away from me.
yeah, you
Sir
stand over
Darcy,
there.
I beat you for a precipitation.
One of the
Darcy,
one of the-
Darcy just from over here, just
Yeah. As soon as you do that, right before you had done that, one of the methods started kind of like just like approaching you, and it looked like it was about to just sit on your shoulder before Darcy did the prestidigitation, and then all of a sudden it no longer had any interest in sitting on your shoulder and it moved away.
All right, come now, young Zane. We must unlock this door. Come here. I'll kind of hold the pole arm out again.
All right, I'm gonna try.
Hey Jake, how possible would it be to use an unseen servant as just like a Mario hop my way over?
Oh god.
You could
Well,
certainly
they
try,
can't hold
but
much.
it is
I thought
currently
you-
Zane that is currently trying to get across. So Zane,
Mhm.
how are you going to try
No
to get
worries.
across? Are you just trying to hop, or are you trying to do something else?
I try to do a running jump.
What's your strength score again?
11.
Ooh, okay, it's going to be a little bit rough. Give me an athletics check. The DC is
XD.
14.
Is this stone here? Can I move it with mold earth? I think Celesta did that earlier.
Yeah, you can if you wanted to.
I just make like an extra little like 5-foot platform towards the other side.
Okay,
So you
yeah.
have a little extra.
With that, there is basically no issues unless you have a negative strength score. Right? Does anybody have a negative strength score?
Nope.
Below 10? No? We're all good? Okay, yeah. Then with as soon as you're about to make the leap, Zane, you see Saros kind of like put out his hand, and then in that brief moment, after a little bit, just like a bridge made of earth kind of juts out from your side, which makes it so much easier. Yeah.
Ah. Good thinking.
All of you managed to get across with no issues.
Ah, my vision is on a wall.
Oh, sorry. Reggie
Oh.
is a little bit sick still. Like, you can see that his entire mouth is like gaping open. His eyes are watering, and he's like trying his best to like breathe out as much as possible. It is hilarious to watch. But I just realized the turn timer was still ticking. Sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, so you can see young Reginald is just like, I swallowed mud before.
It's fine, Reginald. You can just watch the rear, will you? Zane, open the door.
Yeah, you just see him like sit down on the ground. Go
Take a
back to-
breather.
go back
I'll
forward.
pull out my water flask, which admittedly mine is like a giant like gallon. You know, it's basically just a gallon of like water, and I'll just like kind of take it and like set it down next to him and just pat him on the head, and then I'll kind of walk back to the door.
Thank you, my lord.
Darcy's gonna open that up rather than just regular. Prestidigitation can also flavor things. I'm gonna flavor it with something that should, at the very least, overpower it and will be maybe a little more pleasant than what's the taste that's currently in there.
Yeah, it helps a little bit, but this is gonna stick with young Reggie for a while.
Yeah, no, that's a formative memory. That's a formative memory.
Oh,
boy.
God. If you hadn't rolled a 2, he wouldn't have done that. But yeah. As you approach this door, Zane, are you gonna attempt to unlock it?
I need some thieves' tools.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
right.
Yeah, I don't know why you asked Zane to come over.
The thief without thieves' tools.
He doesn't even
Okay.
have pockets on his pants. He's just wearing like all
I'm
he
wearing my
has.
designer outfit.
Yeah, he's
I just,
got
like,
2
glance
swords
down
and
at
nothing
him.
else.
I'm just like, are you serious?
He got his pants from the women's section. Doesn't have pockets.
Does anyone here have like unlocking door tools? Like, what's going on?
I mean, you've already watched Celesta do it.
Is it my turn again? Well,
Celesto, young Celesto, come here. Can you please
Oh.
open this door?
I was hoping not to encounter another.
Well, you know, that's why
Elemental.
I'm here this time. You know, just open it, stand aside, and I will march on.
Okay, I'll check for a trap,
I'll,
and then
I'll
I'll
basically get next to him.
and then I'll
Give me an
roll.
investigation check. Oh yeah. From the best that you can tell, the door is clear. Yeah. This door is a lot more tricky, but it's still not terribly tricky. And the door is unlocked. As you walk into what appears to be like some sort of old storeroom. Thankfully, There's no giant piles of refuse in here. And instead, there's just like a whole lot of not that much. There is a table in one corner of the room. And what appears to be just like a series of just random ingredients and things on the actual table itself. Do you want to take a closer look?
Where's the table at exactly?
In the corner, like back corner here.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll walk up.
Yeah. As you take a little bit of a closer look, you're not really sure what it is, but there's just a bunch of like ingredients. Give me a Arcana check.
Oh no! Wow, that's
Not bad.
not bad.
You have seen Raylana use spells like this before. It is conjuration type magic, something that creates or summons creatures, and this is the ingredients to do a spell that you've seen done before. It's called Summon Familiar. There's probably enough materials for 2 uses of it here, but it just looks like it's been here for a while and hasn't really been used. Not like centuries, but more like probably at least like a couple of weeks.
Oh, I could use those materials. I have the spell.
Well, seeing that, I'll seeing that this is the only way that, like, in theory, we can go. I'll like look around to see if there's any like other secret passageway or anything like that.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, I'm gonna take these.
23. Yeah, no, there is nothing in this room. A surprisingly bland room.
Well, I'm afraid we may have made the wrong assumption about the direction in which the perpetrators went.
Oh, so I went into that poop for nothing. I see.
I don't know why we decided to go with the dirty route as opposed to the clean route.
To be fair, the other way didn't really have a way, you know.
Yeah, no, the other way was much smaller. I don't know how they would have fit everything through.
No, it wasn't like 5 feet wide. It was still 15 feet wide. Like, you could fit things through. It would just be wading through slightly muddy water.
It would have been a more messier route.
I don't think they would care, really.
Well,
So long as it's not, shit.
Well, I suppose we should go check that way out then.
As you guys are walking into this larger room itself, you see what appears to be 2 humanoid figures on the other side of the room. As soon as you kind of like step into the actual room itself, you're hailed by both. You see what appears to be a man and a woman kind of just on the other side of this room. And they both kind of look towards your group, and the man who's slightly in front of the others say, "Hail, strangers! What exactly are you doing down here? You're not supposed to be here." And that is where we'll call the session.
Hey.
Bada bing, bada boom. We'll see how this goes.
I smite them as a reaction.
What the hell? What if they're just really nice people? What the frick? Oh, they don't.
The
Never.
sewers.
That's
Sewer people? What's wrong with sewer people?
Everything.
Yeah, what's wrong with sewer people? Kind of fucked up that you would just assume that they're not normal people. This is the man. And this is the woman.
Andy, I hate to say it, but you're severely lacking in damage now.
All right, look. So 2 of you had thunder damage, and that thing was weak to thunder. All right, give me a target that doesn't, isn't resistant to what I do, and then let me smite him
There-
into the Stone Age, and
There
we'll
is
see how
a
the
man and a woman there.
yeah,
Yeah, and he smoked them.
Hey, yo, what the? Don't just fucking go to "I'm gonna kill him" as your reaction.
Jake,
What
I
if-
need to
why
pad
not?
I need to pad my damage numbers. All right,
What
Oh,
the?
yeah.
Oh,
gonna
we
tell your
gotta
wife.
pad the stats. Everyone, slow down DPS check. Slow it down. Slow it down.
I need to get my full combo off before we kill him.
No, don't end yet. I need to back and get my final item.
Oh, Jesus.